My humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, Sai Ram, uncles, aunties, respected elders, brothers and sisters, devotees from Malaysia, devotees from around the region, devotees from Sri Lanka, and also some from India. Ladies and gentlemen, uncles and aunties, please welcome our three important guests today who are here to conduct this session together with me. My name is Shankar Santiram, and I'm going to be the moderator of this session. Some of you may know me, some of you may not know me. I am here on the capacity as just the moderator, and my job is to ensure the smooth flow of today's proceedings in this section. And we are recording the program at the moment. So before we begin, what I would like very much is to ask the hosts, the people who are hosting the Sister Bhuvanesh, can we have the three main speakers and myself on so that everyone can actually see who's here?
Yes, I'm spotlighting them now.
Yeah.
Spotlighted,
can we have all the, can we take the slides off, please, first? Thank you. Sai Ram, brothers, this is a Zoom conversation, so we will naturally have some technical issues at the beginning, so bear with us as we get our bearings correct. What we need is Sister Isabella Chu, Brother Nimesh Pandya, and Brother Naganan. Sai Ram, everyone, we'd like to welcome Managing Trustee for the Central Trust of the Satya Sai Central Trust, Brother R.J. Radnakar. Sai Ram, brother, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. We also would like to welcome Sri Naganan, Brother Naganan, who's also a trustee. Sai Ram, brother, welcome. We have with us the president of the Satya Sai Seva organization in India, Brother Nimesh Pandya. Welcome, brother. Lovely to have you here. And of course, we've got a very special guest today, the wonderful and, the person who you regularly see in Prasantalayam, who does a weekend travel like going to the beach. She travels to Prasantalayam every other weekend when she could before COVID. Sister Judge Isabella Chu from Hong Kong. Welcome to the three of you. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram. Brother Nakar and also the trustees and Brother Nimesh. We are at a very difficult situation in Malaysia and in around the region at this moment. We have what we understand is a bit of a schism going on, and there's a lot of confusion, and there is a lot of worry amongst Sai Baba devotees, long-standing Sai Baba devotees in this part of the world. There are a whole range of questions, and what we did was instead of everyone talking over each other and giving their versions and their stories, we said that we'd like to have this very open session and invite as many devotees as possible to come and join. And we've got 163 devotees at this moment right now who are here and who are thought leaders, who are people who are part of the organization, part of the international organization in Malaysia, and so on and so forth. So what we'd like to do is very quickly, this brief introduction of the three of you, and Sister Isabella will come on and speak later to give her experiences. But right now, we'd like to go straight into the questions that we have been receiving from the people who are attending this particular program. In total, we have 46 questions that have come out. So, brothers, if I can begin with your permission and with Swami's love, I would like to start with the first question, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. And for the people who are watching and who are participating, please understand that we are doing this with the spirit of love, in the proper Sai spirit. This is not argumentative. This is not accusatory. At the end of the day, we are all followers of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba and Swami. If nothing else, Swami is love, pure love, has always been love. I've been a Sai devotee since 1979. I'm 50 years old now. For 45 years of my life, all I've known is love. And that is the spirit that we need to keep today's session on. So with that as a proviso, Sai Ram, everyone. Okay, my first question to the two trustees and also Brother Nimesh, please come in if you can, is a question that comes in from a Sai devotee called Prem Adesh Lekhi, who is from the Satya Sai International Organization, Ipoh Garden. And he asked his question as an opening question is excellent. He says, why are we doing this? Why the debate? Will it prove anything or solve anything? That's the first question. Why, in fact, are we doing this today? So that will be my first question to the trustees and also
panelists. Okay, you can say panelists.
All the panelists.
Yeah. Okay. May I make a few prefatory remarks?
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Shankar, and the large number of Swami's devotees who have joined this session this afternoon in India, evening in the Far East. I think the time has now come for us to reflect on Swami's message, which is 10 years after Mahasamadhi. Swami lived a full life, and those of us who are very fortunate to be in the immediate presence of Swami and be blessed by him and guided by him in our personal lives, spiritual lives, and in the secular life of the Sathya Sai Central Trust. We have been very fortunate for that. Now, 10 years is a long time that has happened after the Mahasamadhi. So the object of this exercise that was done was to unify everybody. You see, the Swami set up the Sathya Sai Central Trust as a public charitable trust. He also set up other charities for the medical trust separately. But in Swami's, before Mahasamadhi itself, he started consolidating many of these trusts and institutions. And Central Trust became the focal point of his attention towards the fag end of his avatarhood. And Swami also blessed and set up the Sai organization in India and abroad. And they gave different names, different office bearers. And so long as Swami was physically with us, we were blessed to have his direct guidance in many of these things. Now, the issue that we started thinking of was that we must have one common platform where all the organizations are going to come together. The idea is not that the international organization is some alien organization which should be roped in or which should be controlled or supervised. That is not the idea at all. If you see, the trustees had a number of deliberations, and they bounced to this idea of the national president in India, and also Dr. Reddy was informed about it. And the trustees made a simple announcement in November last year, where the announcement was that it is decided to form a global council which has all of us together in it. That was the announcement. And the further details will be discussed with everybody, and it will be given effect to from the Guru Purnima following year, that is this year, 24th. So there was a full 9 months or 8 months and odd of time that was available for discussion. Now, the structure of this organization was prepared and shared. Thereafter, there was a lot of discussions. I won't go into the details because I think in the next questions, all those are going to come.
Yes.
The object is simply to put everybody together. And if you see the structure of the Global Council, we have all office bearers of the international organization in it. The national president is there, international organization chair is there, and only 3 trustees in the Central Trust are going to be there. This is the organization chart so far as the Global Council is concerned. There are 2 executive committees, one for international, one for national. In that also, in the international, entire body of Prashanti Council members are in it, including zonal chairs, central coordinators, all of them. So this is a body that is formed. And this body is the one which is unifying and coordinating all the institutions that Swami set up. That is the object of this Global Council. There's no other object behind it.
Thank you, Brother Nagaran. And that was a very good introduction to why. But
Nimesh
perhaps,
bhai, one second, Shankar. Nimesh bhai, you need to come in anything?
Yeah, very frankly, I concur with Brother Naganan. And my thought would be, why not now? Because the present is always very, very important. Present is omnipresent. And 10 years have gone by, as Brother Naganan mentioned. And as we direct ourselves to the centenary celebrations of our beloved Bhagwan, I think it was an opportune moment for people to start coming together on the same platform and moving together as one whole. Because Bhagwan always stood for unity and Bhagwan always stood for oneness. And I think that oneness was the real motivating factor to start this whole discussion. So I think I would concur with Brother Naganan.
excellent. And Brother Ratnakar, would you like to add anything on?
No, I fully agree with whatever Brother Naganan said and Brother Nimesh just now reiterated it. We have been doing everything, all works related to each one of us, our individually, our business-wise, our family-wise. Every work is being conducted by all of us. We have not stopped anything for the last 2 years.
Right.
Then why ask institution to say, why are you doing now? have you ever stopped any of your works? No, none of us have stopped. We are doing, even if our jobs, we are doing from work from home, we are doing, everybody is carrying on their works. Institutions cannot be stalled paused for so long years. They have to evolve, they have to keep moving. So I think, it's just that, trying to find an excuse why now. If you see in the last 6 months, how many Zoom calls were conducted by SSIO, how many mails and how many messages, how many of them have been exchanged? How much? In fact, I keep telling them, in last 6 months, SSIO has been most active. So in the past, maybe which I have ever seen in last 10 years. So why not? So you could be active in so many other ways. Why not positively?
So the question was, why this and why will this particular session prove anything? So I think you all three panelists have explained very clearly, now is the right time and why not now to move forward. The next series of questions I would like to ask comes from about three devotees. It's essentially about the chronology of events right now, because a lot of people who don't know what's going on would like to know what really happened. And in order to reach this impasse right now, because a lot of information has not gone through to people in Malaysia and in Singapore and Indonesia. All we hear is little rumors here and there, and pockets of information comes out, and then we get told that you should not believe this and you should not believe that and you must believe this and you're going to be excommunicated and so on and so forth. So there were questions that came in that particular series. So we had two questions. One is, I'd really like a person called Brother Dinesh from Bangsa Center in Malaysia, and also Brother Jayantakumar from the SS3 Center in Kuala Lumpur. Both said, how, paraphrasing their two questions, what is the proposition? What is the Satyasai Global Council proposition? How did it come to blossom? What transpired with this intent? And also, they've both said, kindly respond in honesty, knowing that Swami is witnessing all of this. So I think the question is essentially, you've chosen to do this now. What prompted you to do it now?
Satyam Vada, Dharmam Chara. These are the two edicts which we have in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Swami repeated it in most of his discourses. He said, you should be truthful. And we, the trustees, are completely truthful. We don't want to utter a single word which is not true. Now, the mystery that has been created about it is not our doing. Few days before the announcement, the trustees of the Central Trust, after a great deal of deliberations, unanimously decided that we must bring about unity and get all the organizations into one platform.
Right.
This was discussed internally among the trustees. Few days before the announcement, I personally spoke to Dr. Reddy and mentioned to him that this is what the trustees are contemplating. And we are going to make an in-principle announcement on the 23rd of November. And after that, I even mentioned that this is not going to be final on that day. There'll be enough time for us to discuss, debate, and arrive at a consensus. This was informed to him. Then it was announced. Now, what did the announcement say? I read out a prepared text, which was unanimously approved by the Board of Trustees. That is available in record. And the whole object is only to make everybody come and sit at one table. Now, you see, international organization is sitting in a different table. And the national organization is sitting in a different table. Central Trust is sitting in a different table. What is happening in each of those tables, we don't know. One table is ordering Chinese food, another is ordering Indian food, the third is ordering Japanese food.
Sure.
Now, how do we put everything together in one place? Well, let's all sit at one table and have a banquet where we'll all share the good things of each of our organizations. That was the object of this whole exercise. And everything was shared with them. You see, the question also sort of indicates that there was not enough information shared. Now, you see, we shared it with the chair of the international organization. Now, it is for them to explain why they did not send this document to all the centers. If they wanted the views of the centers and the devotees, the first thing that they should have done and could have done, possibly, is to send this document to everybody to say, Central Trust has proposed like this. Please let us know what your views in this are. Apparently, that was not done. And therefore, there are so many things that have happened in between. I think in the rest of the questions, when they come, we will have occasion to deal with the exact course of action that took place between that first conversation I had before the announcement and the current day. There are a number of developments that have taken place. And I very respectfully submit, I have great respect for Dr. Reddy personally. He's a great human being. He's led the organization. We have nothing personal against him. It's a question of what is it that Swami wanted us to do? You see, if you see Swami's own voice, his own discourses, we have extracted and we have sent it to all to the international organization, to other officers also. To say Swami said that everything should be centered out of Puttaparthi, out of Prashanti Nilayam and Central Trust. These are words which Swami has used himself. So the whole idea is only to follow Swami's words and to give effect to what Swami has directed us to do.
Right.
Of course, there is some detraction from that. I will deal with it when those questions arise.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Naganan. Brother Nimesh?
Well, I think it's very strange that somebody should ask a question, why a good thought now? I mean, a good thought is a good thought which can come anytime, and a good thought must be acted upon immediately. Therefore, I think that's what I would always believe that one should do. And I think there is nothing untruthful about the whole proposition that all want to come together on one platform. And the foundation is definitely rooted into the strictest of truths that we've ever can practice. And it is genuinely that we all wanted to come together and we wanted to bring everybody on board. And therefore, I don't think there is any underlying issue about untruth or a lack of truth in this whole proposition.
Okay. Thank you, Brother.
I think, whoever the brothers who have asked, posed this question, again, I want to say that, did you find any dishonesty any time when we were saying any of these things? Never. We were very open. We said our position. We were willing to clarify every doubt, or we could have provided a justification and clarification for every doubt SSIO, Dr. Narendra Reddy and his team, if they had entertained some doubts about it, we were willing to do it. But they did not come forward for any engagement. If you see after announcement on 23rd November, if you want to know sequences, what they did, on December second week, we get letters of attack from almost 130, 140 people. You were trying, the very first step was wrong. You were trying to, you thought you can threaten us, or perhaps, I do not know if I can use a very strong word, it may be blackmail us. What is it? Why did you do this?
That is what you felt at that point.
Yes, of course we did. We did feel that these 130 and most of 50 letters were, like templated and circulated to them to be sent.
Right.
And everybody knows about these things. So that did not work because, see, we were standing for the truth only. If you go into the International Organization website, any one of you can, even now, if somebody is on the call, can go into the international website and see where is what's called a permanent charter. If you go into permanent charter of international organization, what is on their website, if you go into that, open that and go into what is called structure, there is a, under the section 5, if you go into the permanent charter, it's very clearly, it's written there. It's charter provided and blessed by Swami, and 1981 it says, it's very clearly it says, there shall be a body in from Prashanti Nilayam, which comprises of Central Trust, Indian organization head and the international organization head.
Right.
And that body will be not only coordinating, they very clearly, they use the word supervising.
Right.
I think somebody has put this. We
put the slide up.
Okay, to guide and supervise. See, that is, you can see this in International Organization website. To guide, see, there shall be a central organization or a body at Prashanti Nilayam. It's very clear. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it's so clear. To guide and supervise is the word which you can see there.
Right.
So we did not invent this word just to intimidate somebody or to supervise. This is already there. And who are all the, it's very clearly states, all of you are part of it. To make rules and regulations and provide guidelines of the organization from time to time to determine all matters requiring authoritative decisions of the organization. It's very clearly laid out, and this is part of International Organization website. We have not created it. Right.
So brother, this might be a good time to ask the next question, which is a little bit of a follow-up from what you're saying right now, which is one Sai devotee from the Sai Baba Center of Tamanyal said, a lot of allegations have come. They don't say where these allegations come from. We are just repeating the question that they have written. A lot of allegations have come that this is done. This process has been done. The formation of the Global World Council has been done to control the Satya Sai International Organization. It will lose its powers. The structure of SSIO will cease to exist. Allegations have also been made that this is an attempt by the Central Trust to indirectly control centers, trusts, schools all over the world, as before their jurisdiction was only within Prasanthi Nilayam. Again, this is misinterpreted. Hope the leaders can tell us that this is right or wrong, or what is the outcome of the plan. So this is very much in keeping with the question that we just had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naganan, Ms.
Yeah.
Nimesh.
I think, I'll ask myself a question.
Sure.
How do I control an organization? Now, if I'm a corporate body, I will hold 51% shares or 76% shares in a company, in which means I can appoint the directors, I can remove the directors, I can, by a democratic process, do everything which I can do to control the body. Now, in this case, the Global Council, the composition of the Global Council, if you see, it has the national heads of every country where there's a Sai organization as a member of the Global Council.
Mhm.
It has all the zonal chairs. It has all the central coordinators. It has all the members of the Prasanthi Council in it. It has the international chair in it. It has the national president of the All India organization. All these people are there in it. Who is there from Central Trust? There are 3 persons from Central Trust. Only 3, not more than 3. So in a body of over 100 people, or maybe 90 to 100 people, if 3 people are sitting, let us assume that there are 3 trustees appointed by Central Trust.
Yes.
They will be sitting with these 97 other people as equal members. We don't have any voting right. We don't have any veto right. We don't have any majority rule. All decisions taken by majority. And we have no right to dissent on anything. If we dissent, we are dissent. That's all.
That's right. Brother Naganan, I need to just interject here a little bit, because the narrative that is being promoted by the Satya Sai International Organization is that you, the Central Trust, will make the decision on who are the 3 people and who is going to chair. And this is one of the narratives that has been sent out to the world in multiple discussions. In fact, only a few days ago, Brother Suresh Govind and Brother Ashok from Hong Kong had a video conversation with Swami's lawyer, so-called lawyer. He called himself Swami's lawyer.
Pardon me, I have a strong objection.
Right.
The Lord does not require any lawyers. All the lawyers require the Lord. Please, let's be very clear about this.
But I don't shoot the messenger. I am
No,
just...
Shankar. We have very, very renowned and very illustrious people
right.
on the panel.
But I would like to...
Naganand and Nimesh, they're very, very...
I understand.
They're lawyers, both of them by lawyers by
Absolutely.
their profession. And they are...
Absolutely. No, the reason why I brought this up was because this is the story and the view that the bulk of the devotees are getting. So
you are creating a story that as if Swami had a lot of cases to fight. He's my lawyer.
That's right.
Ratnakar, I was worried about the stress that he laid on the word Swami's lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
That's precisely what the video went out as.
Yeah, we know that.
You saw the video, I'm sure.
No, I didn't see it. We're not wasting our time on that.
Yeah.
Right. But that's precisely what went out to ordinary devotees, who then went, oh my God, this is interesting, and in that case, that particular person, Robert Baskin, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, repeatedly said that the structure is being changed and the trust is going to control the Global World Council. So I think that needs to be
Yeah.
absolutely, we have 200 participants here. We need to tell people the truth. The truth from the trustees' mouths need to come out right now.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
one more thing. I think the lawyers hold briefs of their clients who feed them with data. So the truth is not what the lawyer says. The truth is always what the divine says.
Correct. Okay.
Correct.
Dinesh,
Yeah.
Naganan,
I
please.
think, the issue becomes very clear. It's now 3:30 in the afternoon in India. If somebody calls me and says, sir, it is now 3:30 a.m. in India, I will tell him, no, sir, I think there's something wrong. You please recheck your thing. It should be 3:30 in the afternoon, not 3:30 a.m.
Right.
He insists to say, no, it is 3:30 a.m. You don't know the time. I tell him, no, sir, my watch is clear. I have got sunlight. So it is to 3:30 afternoon. After that, I can't do anything more to convince him. We are in that situation now. If you see the documents that have been circulated, I mentioned about the Global Council, 100 members and odd, 3 people are trustees of Central Trust. We have no veto rights. There are 2 bodies that are constituted, one for international organization called Executive Committee 1, another one for national organization called Executive Committee 2. In both these committees, the heads of the respective organizations are members. The international chair is a member of Committee 1, national chair is a member of Committee 2. These committees, and in the international chair, the entire Prashanti Council members are part of it. Plus, the zonal coordinators are part of it, zonal chairs.
Mhm.
Now, if you see the composition of that, there will be 3 trustees of Central Trust in it. We don't have a right of veto. All decisions have to be taken by a simple majority vote by democratically decision-making process. And the chairman of that is going to be a person who is going to be the chairman of the Global Council. We have now decided that it shall be Sri K. Chakravarti, our most senior and most respected Swami's devotee and man who has held so many positions. He is going to be the chair. He will chair the Global Council. He will chair Executive Committee 1 and Executive Committee 2. The chairman doesn't have a casting vote. He doesn't have a veto right also. So this Executive Committee 1 is going to decide. It very clearly provides that the office bearers, including the chairman of the international organization, a decision on that will be made by the Executive Committee.
Mhm.
The Executive Committee's decision will have to be given effect to. A letter of appointment has to be written by somebody. No? Executive Committee, 20, 30 people can't sign it.
That's
So
right.
who is going to sign that?
That's like in any corporate company. right?
Exactly. It is going to be signed by the chairman of the meeting.
Sure.
The chairman of the meeting is the designated person whom we have now agreed to be the chairman, is Mr. Chakravarti. He will be formally writing, saying the executive committee is pleased to appoint you and you are appointed for this term and all the terms. That's all that is going to happen. So how does Central Trust control anything? I'm not able, it baffles me.
Can I come in?
Yes,
Yes.
sure,
I
please.
think whatever respected lawyer, whatever he said, I think, it's very clear. It is not Central Trust, right? Where is Central Trust? He is making a mistake. If somebody said they are Central Trust, it is not Central Trust. It is SSSGC Global Council which is going to operate all this.
Right.
Central Trust is not only there are representatives, 3 representatives of Central Trust.
And we need to repeat that again. We only have 3 representatives
3
from the Central Trust.
representatives.
Only
Central
3.
Trust. It is not Central Trust. Please be very clear. Central Trust and SSSGC, SSSGC Global Council, are 2 different bodies. Sri SSSGC Global Council is the one where you are all part of it and where all this happens. Central Trust is not the body where it can control SSGC. We have not given that structure that SSGC will report to SSCT. There is a clear, this is a false narrative they are propagating.
Right.
See, SSCT will control. It is not SSCT which will control. It is SSGC which is there, which is going to do all the deliberations and all the work. And SSGC, who are the part of it? As again and again, Naganand, Mr. Brother Naganand just now said, it is you all, the international organization people, the Prashanti Council, the Executive Committee consists of Prashanti Council, World Foundation members, the chairman of the international organization, whatever 13, 12 zonal chairs, all of you only.
Right.
So where is the question? See, this is a false narrative people they have been propagating. In fact, you're using the word honesty, truthful. I think, when the people who are, looking at our this thing, They will understand even in the last, whatever we have conducted and wanted devotees for any interaction and clarification from our side, we always maintained it very, very consistently the same thing. We don't change our narratives, nor we, because in fact, jokingly, myself, Naganand, Ms. Nimesh, we keep jokingly, talking whenever Zoom call is there. We don't need any preparation for all this. Even if midnight you wake us up and ask any question, because that is the truth. That is what we intended. We don't need to camouflage or paint certain things which is not there. And this false narrative, let me also tell you, brother, since you're all on the call, I must tell you, the false narratives are being propagated right from the top of SSIO leadership. Unfortunately, this is what happened. These false narratives are, for example, your brother Manoj Kumar Singh, he himself is there. One of the letters he wrote when we were requesting for a Zoom call with international organization, this was forwarded to the trust by none other than the chairman of Satyasai International Organization. Dr. Narendra Reddy himself had forwarded the mail of Manoj, a lot of other mails. So I was just going through. Mr. Manoj Kumar Singh, he has his mail. I just, Naganand Nimesh, I just taken some 1 paragraph what he has written. He says, during Zoom meeting of, I'm just quoting what Manoj has written. During Zoom meeting of my zone, when this point was read, one of a senior Sai devotee shouted, the trust is after our money. What is this, Manoj Bhai? What are you talking? Are we after your money? You're writing to international chair of such things. He's saying that we should not let this happen. What will you not let it happen? Are we here to take your money? How much money you have contributed? What is this narrative? You're senior people. You tell about trust, and trust is this kind of a narrative. Is it right? It indicates that people don't have confidence in integrity of few members of our Puttaparthi due to previous incidents. What previous incidents can you kindly tell us? What is you're questioning our integrity and you're telling all lies? What is this? It's not correct. Please, even now we are telling you, it is not too late. 24th is just 1 week away. After 24th, that is what I wrote to Dr. Narendra Reddy. The Global Council doors are always open to you, please, but don't engage us in any more mails, and we will not be able to do that, because these false narratives we can't deal. We don't want to waste our time.
Right.
He said, you please come and, we don't have any more, you should be unconditional. In that context, they said, oh, Ratnakar has said to surrender to him. We will not surrender to him. We'll surrender to Swami. What are you taking?
Correct. That is the narrative that is being propagated.
I know. The brother Leonardo Gutter, when he was addressing your, I have the even recording of that, your own, that is the issue.
Yeah.
SSIO brothers only sharing this. Is it true? They have shared with me. Leonardo Gutter says, you want to follow Swami or you want to follow Ratnakar? Come on, please don't bring it to that low level.
Right.
How can you compare Swami and Ratnakar? Ratnakar is just a speck of dust at his feet. You're comparing Swami to Ratnakar. You lose your discrimination or what? What are you doing?
And this is the repeated narrative. This is the repeated narrative that is being presented.
Please, you can't do this. You see, this is not Ratnakar's organization. This belongs to Satya Sai, entire world Sai devotee fraternity. Swami created it with his blood and sweat. 70 years he has worked to give you such false narratives. What are we doing? And what are we saying? Follow Ratnakar. Sir, Brother Naganand Nimesh. See, this should be very categorically told, this kind of false narratives they go and give. And they say, it seems we have refused to add in executive committee, we say all the appointments are being done as per the bylaws and charters of SSIO or SSO. Nimesh bhai, you see in that we write like that. Yeah. So it seems they requested that as given by Swami, and we refuse to add that word as given by Swami. Can you imagine? Is that the narrative?
Never discussed.
No, nobody. See, we will. Whole global council is as given by Swami. Now, why will we say this is not given by Swami? We have been saying. Even a lot of people ask us. See, this is a narrative you are giving, and Manoj Bhai is writing all this. All that crime we committed is asking for Zoom call. That big things they are writing.
Right. I
Just
understand.
ask for a Zoom call.
Right.
This is what the answer is.
Right.
Central trust. It will be difficult that central trust can win confidence of devotees. Now, what is happening today? Entire South Africa and entire African region is
Right.
with 19 countries are going to join.
Right.
In Sri Lanka, in Malaysia, a lot of people have joined. A lot of centers have joined. Singapore has joined. Indonesia has joined. Sri Lanka has joined. So many people have joined.
Nimesh would like to speak. Yeah.
But the world must know that 90% of the world organization is India.
Yes.
I don't think my brothers and sisters from all over the world should make such allegations that make Indians like people who have no sense of discrimination or no sense of thought process that they do get into this. And I must very shortly point out to all my brothers and sisters that the whole concept of the central trust trying to control any part of the organization, whether it's the world or India, is so baseless, because I speak from experience. I have created my own national council in the country of India, where 28 states are like 28 countries in the world, and the maximum number of devotees hail from India. And for last 3 to 4 years, I've had a national council where I have a member of the Central Trust. Being a part of my national council, Dr. V. Mohan has been constantly, and we've been working together so beautifully that we've had no issues. In fact, I am surprised as to where these thoughts of control come from, or these allegations come from. Because if I'm on this panel, if I had to speak from personal experience, and that's very truthful, because experience and truth go hand in hand. Absolutely. And this experience I must share, that if it didn't happen in India, why should it happen in the world? I don't understand. I don't see any reason for anybody to disbelieve that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Now, the panelists, there is a whole range of questions, which again follows from there. Now, before that, I would like to inform everybody who is watching this. We've got 208 participants at this moment still with us. You can ask questions also. We're not unmuting because we do not want this to become a slagging, shouting, screaming match. So we are managing it. You can put in your chat group, you can send it out, and the people who are managing the back end of the Zoom conversation, this conversation that we're having, will pick up the questions and put that. We've got a couple of questions that have come from people who are actually in the call right now with us. There is one brother, Haridas from SS3 Sai Center, who says, are we saying that all this while, I'm reading this out, all this while, Swami setup been running for 80 over years now? Maybe that's right, maybe 70, 80 years. I'm not sure he said 80 years. Why change now? The question, and I think we addressed this question earlier in terms of this is the right time to bring things together. Brother Nimesh was very clear in saying that when is the right time? Today is the right time. Now is the right time. So that question, and another question that's come through from somebody else, which is both the Satya Sai International Organization and the Satya Sai Global Council seem to be accusing each other, which you have been very clear, said you're not accusing anybody. The Global Council hasn't been accusing anybody. Why not have a forum with these two parties? Will they agree? At the end of the day, all these people are in fact appointed by Swami. So we have these two questions. One is, are we saying that all this while the organization hasn't been running properly and that we need to recalibrate, reorganize, restructure, and manage the organization better, the international organization? And the other thing is, the person is asking also, why can't we all just get together and talk? In fact, that part you've also explained earlier. You've been trying to talk from November of last year, from the time that this idea was mooted. So Brother Nimesh, maybe you could start, and then we'll move on to Brother Ratnakar and also Brother Nagan. We'll give you the floor first.
No, I think let Naganan begin. I'll join.
Okay. Brother Naganan, please.
Doesn't have the right answer.
I think, I would put it like this. Now, the three organizations, you see, we had the great good fortune of Swami personally guiding us in so many things, in everything. I still remember Swami told me once, you be on the medical trust, I will do everything, you don't do anything. And to tell you honestly, in those days, we did not have these kind of meetings. The minute Swami left his body and Mahasamadhi happened, we had so many meetings. We had executive committee for hospital. We had a board of management. We had board of trustees. In a month, we'd have at least 4 to 5 meetings or more sometimes. None of those meetings were there. Why? Because Swami was taking all decisions. Any problem, anything, any guidance that was needed, Swami would clearly give those guidance.
Right.
Now, that is not available today. Now, you see how did Swami, how Mr. Srinivasan was appointed as the All India President? It was a decision of Swami. How Goldstein was appointed World Chair, decision of Swami. Now, you see, time goes by and we have to change and keep pace with what is happening. Now, 10 years after Mahasamadhi, the international organization is working not out of Prashanti Nilayam. They only come there for 2 major occasions. Other than that, there is no other institutional interaction. Same thing, therefore, it is necessary for us to centralize the functioning. Now, we are not saying international chair must be a permanent resident of Puttaparthi. That is not what the idea is. There is an institutionalized decision-making process where everybody sits together. Major policy, supposing, let us say in India, there is need to do some COVID-related work.
Sure.
World also COVID-related work has to be done. Central Trust is also doing. If all of us are together, can we not sit down and talk about it in one forum where everybody accesses use? Therefore, to say that Swami set up these institutions, where is the need to change? If you look at it in Swami's, before Mahasamadhi itself, there were many trusts. Swami consolidated all of them. I was, with Swami's blessing, I drafted many of those documents. Swami himself took a decision. No, we will not have so many organizations. We'll put them together at one forum. So the idea of global council is nothing new. It is that everybody comes together at one place.
Right.
Therefore, this timing of it, it has nothing to do with timing.
Right. Brother Ratnakar?
Yes, I think in fact, adding on to what Brother Naganan is saying, excuse me. In fact, it is our bounden duty to come together. Please let's understand this.
Right.
It is not, Satyasai world is not India, America, Japan, Malaysia. Satyasai world is one of humanity. And all that human beings who believe in the message of Bhagwan Satyasai Baba are duty bound to come together under one umbrella.
Right.
And that one umbrella has to be based in Prashanti Nilayam. Because the tree of Satyasai, the massive tree that is to grow, must have its roots in Prashanti Nilayam. If it is not rooted in Prashanti Nilayam, we can imagine in what way the tree will grow. For any strong, robust tree, the root must be in Prashanti Nilayam, where the Lord himself chose to be. And therefore, I don't think there can be any debate about that.
And in a nutshell, sorry, Brother Nimesh, in a nutshell, that's essentially what you're saying. That's what the Global Council is. It's that foundation, that strength. Right.
And one more dimension. Somebody, I overheard in the question somewhere, I saw that.
Right.
Is there something wrong and therefore we are trying to do something good?
That's
No.
right.
Everything is good. Nothing in the world that Swami creates can be bad. He is the doer. He is the master. All of us are puppets in his hand. Let's understand this.
Right.
And therefore, the idea, the thoughts that emanate from human mind are positive thoughts that emanate for positivity.
Right.
And if the mergence is happening, the mergence is directed towards the common good and common unity and common love, which is the hallmark of Swami's message. Now, you can't be quoting Swami's messages like lawyers all around the world do, quoting judgments of one court to the other court. There is only one judgment, and that is unity. There is only one judgment, that is trust. There is one judgment, not to criticize. There is one judgment, be together and work together. That is the judgment that we follow. And therefore, the perception that there is something wrong and therefore we are trying to correct is baseless according to me.
And that's very clearly explained now. And I think the 200 odd devotees from Malaysia and around the region watching this now realize this. Brother Ratnakar?
Shankar, see, of course, while I agree with both of Brother Naganand and Brother Nimesh Pandya, I have a little different kind of answer for this.
A little variation.
Yeah, slightly variation. Because you see, Satyasai International Organization, why is it running everything smoothly? Why we change now? Who said we are changing it? We are only wanting to strengthen it by bringing it together.
Right.
And the reason why we are doing now this is, if you see, perhaps, I don't know whether you can go through your report, somebody reads the sites, everything. See, 2010 International Organization had 2,034 centers all over the world.
Right.
In 2020, it's published by them only. The number of centers have
Centers.
reduced by 300 and plus. It has become 1,700.
Right.
So SSC students, there were some 36,000 in 2010. Now, now in 2020, it has become 21,000.
Right.
So there is something is not.
There is a decline. There is a decline. There is a very
the number of people attending the centers also have declined. Many times we hear where 100 were attending, 25 are attending. Where 400 were attending, only 60, 70 are attending.
Right.
Why? And the very back of the hand kind of
answer or response.
Excuse, I should say, right. Because it is not an answer. Say Mudanhalli is affected. Then where were all these lawyers sitting there then? Now today you are talking about trademarks and
yes,
all of legalities. Where were you? What were you doing, sir? Why were you hiding? Where were you hiding?
Right.
Why did you not, make? Because the was it not then also belongs to you? There was no divine command then, was it? It was there. You all feel now that it is SSAO independent. Nobody should come. Nobody should. Then why were you not reacting to those days for the kind of plundering that they did in the international organization? They went into centers and you're accusing us that we are causing disunity. What were you doing then?
Right.
See, the word unity is not for making speeches. Just 1 minute I would take.
Sure.
I want everybody to know that the unity is not what we speak, keep giving lectures and in front of mics, unity, love, reverence, gratitude. That is not what is going to be seen by Swami. Swami will see there's one more unity which I think all my brothers on the other side need to have this unity. And I pray to Swami to grant them the unity of thought, word and deed. It is manasekam, vachasekam, karmanyekam, mahatmanam. You should think same thing. You should say the same thing. You should do the same thing. If there is a variance, people will see it. That is exactly what is happening. Whenever I sit in prayer, I think, what is the cause? This is what is causing the SSAO officers are not able to.
Brother, sorry to interrupt. Some of the questions that we have received, and the questions I'm asking you, is about this variance because of the stories. And
yes. This variance, because that the thinking, the saying, many times I watched it over, what they think, what they say, what they're doing are completely in variance. That is why, sir, you are not able to convince the devotees. You say unity. Why Suresh Govind has to go to Australia or Canada to speak while you come back? And yesterday, what you did? You fire National Seva Coordinator, National Spiritual Coordinators because they talked about Prashanti Nilayam. And you take mic and say Prashanti is Makkah, Medina, and Jerusalem. What are you doing? Now, yesterday, Ravi Menon, there's a Seva Coordinator, National Seva Coordinator.
That's right.
What is his name? He was fired yesterday. There is a spiritual coordinator. I think, the sister was fired. You are doing this kind of things and you call a unity, you go to the different countries and give lectures. Not, don't you think what you're doing is absurd?
Brother, we understand.
Really?
We understand. No, we understand the emotions are very raw, especially when accusations of this nature are being made to the Global Council, and then the same accusations are being acted out by these people who, on the one hand, say one thing and on the other hand, do something else. So yes, I agree. Very quickly, I want to also make a small correction. I keep saying 200 people are watching this thing. 206 people are on with us in Zoom, but another 200 odd people, 190 people are actually on our YouTube channel at the moment. So we've got about 400 people plus who are here in Malaysia. This is fantastic because the idea is not no accusations, no nothing. We just want to know the truth. We want to know the way forward. I mean, that's the whole idea here. And what we're getting for the last 45 minutes that we've had conversations with Brother Nimesh Pandya, the Satyasai Seva Organization President of India, Brother Naganan, who is a trustee and also a managing trustee from the Central Trust, Brother Ratnakar, has been quite open, quite honest, and quite well, not quite honest, completely honest, just to tell us what the situation is. Thank you so much for this. Now, I have another series of questions that have come about, people are interested in the structure. What are we going to do now? What do I do now? As a Sai devotee, as a member of a center, and then I have an organization in Malaysia that is quite reticent about wanting to join, and I don't really know what exactly I should do. So I have 3 questions that have been clubbed together. One is from Brother Yogaraj from Bangsa, one is from Hariharan from Tamanyal, and one more from Brother Sarat Chandran from Penang. What is the structure of the Sri Satisai Global Council in Malaysia going to be like? What is the role of the Prashanti Council? How is it going to be different from SSIO or the trust? The 3 institutions, SSIO, the organization, all the 3 organizations have been working well. How do we coordinate this together? So we have this question that's come out, and perhaps Brother Naganan, Brother Ratnakar, you want to start with this? Whoever wants to start can start.
Naganan, sir?
You see, the structure of the Global Council is that every country where there is a Sai organization, there will be a representative from that country sitting on the Global Council.
Okay.
So if the international organization decides that they are not going to join and they will not allow the Malaysia National Organization to join, if supposing that is their decision,
right,
then the rest of the devotees, the centers which join the Global Council, they will constitute the national
Global Council body
of that country.
Right.
So between them, supposing, let's say, some 50 centers of Malaysia and Indonesia join us. So for each of these countries, they will have to select one person to head their organization for that country, and he or she will become the member of this Global Council. And all national chairs are members of the Global Council. That's all that will happen. So see, the thing is, the centers, they don't actually have to depend on international organization for anything. See, center is the very, what shall I say, the pulse of the organizations in the center. What activities you should do in the center, Swami has clearly laid down. And that is what you will continue to do. So,
Brother Naganan, the question, it goes a little bit further here in Malaysia, especially because what we have is the Satisai International Organization of Malaysia, and it is the governing body in this country. And we have a set of rules and laws pertaining to the Malaysian government. And so all the Sai Baba centers in Malaysia, now they're known as the Satisai International Organization. Say, for example, center in Penang, center in Kuala Lumpur, in Bangsa, and different areas. We're all affiliated to the Sai Baba Central Council of Malaysia. That was the name before, and now the international organization. So I suppose a lot of people are saying that if I break away and I do this, I will have to now reorganize my entire national structure, and which is probably what I think is in the mind of most people.
Yes, that's right.
One thing, initially when we started this, we did not expect to run into this.
Right.
We were like, Brother Nimesh Pandya, who did not waste time to join. Now, the question doesn't arise.
And sorry, brother, and to add on here, who leads 90% of the Sai devotees, more than 90% of the world's organization is there.
So 2 of us are sitting on the call for you. See,
right. Thank you.
All together.
With great humility and respect, we thank you.
Satyasai Central Trust in Indian Organization is attending the call for you.
Right.
We never expected that, we were somehow see that we'll convince them and everybody will be on board of Global Council.
Right.
As you all know that after a series of accusations and from SSAO, we did go with them to discuss, and you all know that there was a meeting and we gave a joint statement. It was given by Dr. Narendra Reddy. The first release was by SSIO, and they said we all joining Global Council. Then again, after a while, they retracted and said we want to withdraw. We are pulling out of SSGC. See, then only we have to. That happened on when? June 27th.
Right.
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 Not
long ago. About 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
See, otherwise, it was just all of them were on board and it was there. Now, definitely from like how Brother Naganan said, wherever whichever country. Global Council centers or devotees are affiliated, definitely they will have direct under Global Council. That structure, the whatever guidelines, the rules, regulations, they're all given. It is not somebody in international organizations as written by any of these office bearers who are currently there. They've been blessed and given by Swami long time back. 1981 charter I was talking to you. They took it up. The Indian organization has a charter. See, international organization also has been given a charter. All this, see, we will not deviate from Swami's charters and Swami's messages, Swami's teachings. Whatever we are going to implement from under Global Council, they are going to be as per the Swami's charter only. And those charters are with us. The permanent charter, they have tweaked. In fact, the charters, you have a new edition of a international charter in 2017. Am I right?
Yep.
That is where they said you don't need to put a picture of Baba.
Yep.
That, perhaps a picture of Baba means it's an option you're giving. Many things like that. So you have meddled with the charter of what Swami has given. You removed Sri from Sri Satya Sai, and you wanted to go with Satya Sai as if he's your childhood buddy. The reverence with the Sri is not like used as a Mr. or in front of a name. Swami has given a elaborate description of why Sri has to be added before a divine incarnate. It's like Sri Krishna, Sri Rama. So Nagaran sir, you can also chip in. If there is Sri, there is a meaning for that. It connotes certain kind of reverence to God. It is not as if you used Mr. Shankar, Dr. Narendra Reddy, Mr. Govind, or Mr. Not like that. That is not that Mr. They mistook it because they don't understand. People are quoting all sort of things. I seldom see people quoting from Satya Sai Speaks and Vahinis.
Right.
Okay, you removed Sri. Where was the charter? And in fact, many things, to an extent, they don't say, Om Sai Ram. It is all, ASR and JSR. Am I right? All of you write like that. Jai Sai Ram is Jai Sai Ram. ASR is Om Sai Ram. That's why you see that the Sri also is not there. That is how it's so casual it has become. So we need to get into the charter given by Swami, and we will implement that. And all of you, see, after 24th, we will be coming back to all of you to give for your own feedbacks, inputs. This organization belongs to each one of us. All of us, all of us together. We need your inputs for this.
Right.
Okay.
And I think, Brother Ratnakar, that's something that the trustees today, yourself, the panelists, everybody, you have made it abundantly clear. It is not a question, because we've got questions like from various people who are essentially questioning the role of the Central Trust and the so-called role of the Central Trust and the imaging that has been portrayed that the Central Trust is meddling with everybody right now. This is the narrative that has been put forward.
In fact, that to debunk that,
before we debunk that, just this question. So I'll give you a question, another question that just come through. In an interview with Radio Sai, Sri, now SSSMC, Sri Chakrabarti mentioned that the purview of the Sri Satya Sai Central Trust is within India and definitely not outside India. Now that the Global Council is under the supervision of the Sri Satya Central Trust, is this not a contradiction? Because you've answered this question already, because you have 3 members from the trust who are sitting in the Global Council. That doesn't mean you have supervision over the Global Council. You are just part of that coming together in a table.
Shankar, let's make one thing clear for all brothers and sisters. Repeat ad nauseum that the Sri Satya Sai Global Council is not Satya Sai Central Trust.
We repeat that again. We have to repeat
underline
that
it, repeat it, and understand it as truth,
right,
and not as a observation or a perception. It is the truth, and anybody who sees it with open eyes will see that the entire structure, as explained by Brother Naganan, is a very representative structure. And please let us understand one thing. If it wasn't for the narrative of these few who are trying to perceive this from a malified intention on the part of the Central Trust, suppose if that narrative was not there, and people around the world were asked, would you like to be with Prashant in Nilayam? What do you think would be the
100%.
robust pumping?
100%.
What would be? It is just a few people who have misunderstood. And I pray that they try to understand again. The few people who have misunderstood are creating the confusion. So therefore, I want to underline, it is not the joining of the Indian organization with the Global Council. It is not the central trust which is creating confusion. It is a few who have not understood things properly, who are responsible for this confusion. And my appeal, and I tell all my people in India and I tell everybody, let the devotees know that there is no debate about joining Baba in Puttaparthi. There can't be. We are born for that. We are privileged for that. That's the point that we need to understand. And therefore, even answering your question, the previous question, if there is an issue about legality of Malaysian organization as compared to joining, what do you think the decision should be? Join Bhagwan. He's the doer. He'll solve all your legal problems overnight.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. Have that faith in Bhagwan. No, what's your problem?
Absolutely.
Naganand sir,
Absolutely.
Mr. Naganand, one of our Zoom meeting, he was very nicely put it. If you're sleeping, we can wake you up. If you're pretending to sleep, what can we do? Naganand sir.
It's somewhat strange, it's so difficult to understand what is the thought process that is working in their head. So, when all these things happen, we have to reach some conclusion. We have to draw some inference.
Right.
If there is smoke, there is fire.
Right.
You don't see the fire, but you're seeing smoke, so you think there is fire.
Right.
Okay, that is a Anumana Pramana, they call it in philosophical thought.
Right.
Now, same way, these people, everything is written very clear.
Right.
But they are going on saying exactly the opposite of what is written there.
Right.
So that means they are saying something which is not there. So now we need to draw some inference from this. What inference can we draw?
Right.
The inference that we can possibly draw is that.
Sairam, sorry. Okay, 1 minute. Can we mute everyone, please?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the voice has stopped.
Okay, great. Please
The
carry on, brother.
inference that can be drawn now is that for some other reason, these few office bearers of the international organization do not want to allow the members of the Sai organization to join their motherland, to join their father, to join their guru, to join God. The whole object of this is to join God, no? Why are they telling you not to join?
Brother Nagaran, the narrative that Brother Nimesh has just explained to us, also what Brother Ratnakar, what the panelists, all of you have said in terms of what the truth is, the ultimate truth as far as you're concerned in terms of joining. Now, I've got a series of questions here who've all obviously stemmed from the Satsai International Organization joining and then pulling out, which is what's done 3 weeks ago and saying we're no longer going to participate. And the questions come from this Brother Jayanta Kumar from SS3 Center, Brother Dorai Narayanan, a senior leader in our organization. All these questions have always been, all three questions are about the terms of reference, the organizational structure. Kindly explain the amendments that you want to do. You are now implying that the Global Council has got clauses implying supervision and control, which may be sore points. Why not focus on coordination and facilitation instead of just, and why don't we remove all those supervision clauses? There are people who are instinctively wanting to be with Prashant Nilayam, wanting to be with the Global World Council, but are pulled back because the narrative that has been given is that you guys are trying to control and you're taking over, you're trying to control. So we need to be, again, we've underlined this again and again. Brother Nimesh has already told us repeatedly to underline, but this sore point of the terms of reference, this is like a haunting thing that comes back to us all the time. So can somebody explain this to me, to everyone who's here? We've got about approximately 450 people who are here right now.
Just a small preamble, and then I will give to Naganand
Sure.
and Mr. Nimesh Pandya. So the whole issue is, in psychology, it's called a projection. What they do, they project it onto others and see that they are doing it.
Right.
The issue is there are few people in the international organization sitting in California and trying to control everything. And they think we are also replicating that. That is the fear. Unfortunately, because they are going through this, that is the fear. Otherwise, the whole I can say, the battalion of officers are going to be in the part of Global Council.
Right.
And why supervision, if it can be in an international organization website, as per the charter, where is the problem for you now? It is been given and blessed and given by Swami, and this charter has been placed. Charter is placed in your own website, which it contains supervision.
which we just displayed earlier. Yeah.
Displayed. And what is the supervision? Who is going to do? You are the people. How Mr. Nimesh Pandey as a All India President, as Dr. Reddy as an international chair, sit here and they themselves recommend to themselves and go back, and then Global Council will write to them saying, we have recommended to you all this and please implement it. What does it mean?
Yeah.
Who is going to supervise? You are the ones who are going to supervise.
Right.
We repeatedly say, but they were false narratives.
Right.
Unfortunately, they give false narratives.
Right.
And see, one thing, the word is Satya Sai. Here, if you start telling lies, then I don't know, where do we go?
So that is why we are doing this today. For the people who are here in Malaysia who are confused, we now hear from you, the managing trustee, Brother Ratnakar.
They say Swami appointed Dr.
Reddy.
Dr. Reddy, who was the chairman of Prashanti Council during Mahasamadhi time. Is it not Dr. Goldstein who was? It's so straight. Na? Then if at Mahasamadhi time, if Dr. Goldstein was holding the position of a Prashanti Council chairman, how did Dr. Reddy got appointed by Swami later on?
Right.
In the sense, see, in the omnipresence Lord, yes, fine, but Satya Sai Central Trust, you have seen the letter Prashanti Council, I have even circulated, wrote to us. We need urgent intervention of Satya Sai Central Trust from saving the international organization from uncertain future. This is the wording which Prashanti Council has written to us.
Right.
Okay. And let me also be very categorically state on this. Please be whatever it is, whatever they say. There is a letter written by the Doyen then, Sri Hindulal Shah, to Satya Sai International Organization as a Satya Sai Central Trust trustee, appointing Dr. Goldstein will be chairing the World Foundation, and Narendra Reddy will be the chairman of Prashanti Council. This is a letter circulated to entire office bearers of, and he has signed it from, I think it's on December 25th or 28th. It's or maybe from November or December of 2011. There's a letter from appointment of letter of appointment of this particular arrangement given by a trustee from Satya Sai Central Trust, and you in your own international organization, channels of communication, they have communicated this.
Right.
So Nagaran sir, there is a letter.
So we have improved ourselves, no? From there, I think Ratnakar, there that now we are saying we'll appoint collectively now instead of one country appoint. So
Exactly.
So it is an expansion of democracy more than anything else that you're talking about right now.
In fact, Global Council document is the most democratic document. Instead of 3 or 4 people talk to each other and appoint anybody, fire anybody, zonal chairs are being fired at
at will.
What is this?
Yeah.
Can this happen?
Worst is, yesterday I got a call from the United States by a Balvika's guru, who was told that SSE is trademarked, and if you don't join the international organization and you continue with the Global Council, your children will not be able to appear for SSE. Now, is this fair? I mean, what are we coming down to?
It's not right.
What are we coming down to?
Yeah, absolutely. This is not the way forward.
Nimesh bhai, SSC curriculum, SSC. We have a Balvikas where how much, what is SSC membership of students who are there? 21,000 as
21,000
given
2020.
2020. I don't know what is currently now. If it is 21,000, the Brother Nimesh Pandey has 36,000 teachers under Satya Sai organization.
Currently, 4 lakh children operating. So I had to tell that guru, don't worry, Swami's Balvikas will be shared with you. Don't worry.
Right.
Maybe the time will now come.
800,000 people, children are somewhere connected to Balvikas.
Right.
Right now, curriculum is there, and they have all the material.
Right.
They have all the material. We will share it. Nimesh bhai, please, we request that all the Balvikas material should be shared with Global Council SSC program. Why not?
100%. I mean, it is Swami's program. Who am I to share? It's all there.
Brother
Swami's mandate.
Ratnakar, Brother Nimish Pandya has already declared everything is shareable as
Yes.
long as it's Swami's work. You
Swami,
can,
yes,
you know,
we will.
so
We will.
he's already said that. No?
Yes.
Sairam, everyone. We've been on for approximately an hour and a bit. And I would like to take a little bit of a break, not a break. We're not taking a commercial break. We're not coming back. But we have a very special guest here with us. And with permission from the trustees and the panelists, I would like to invite Sister Isabella Chu, Judge Isabella Chu, from Hong Kong, who has been patiently here for the last hour. And she is very well-known figure in Prasanthi Nilayam. She's probably the only person that I think is devoted enough, I think perhaps is the right word, crazy is not the right word to use, but devoted enough to fly from Hong Kong every weekend to Prasanthi Nilayam to be there. And she's been to India 200 over times, had multiple opportunities to speak at the Kulwant Hall, done so many different services.
I want to take the liberty of lightheartedly. She's really Swami's judge.
Right.
Not Swami's lawyer.
Welcome, Sister Isabella. Sister Isabella is just going to take 10 minutes of our time to perhaps talk to, essentially, the reason why we wanted Sister Isabella on here is to, all those of you, the 200, 300, 400 people, 400 plus people who are there, we're sitting on the fence at the moment, not really knowing what to do. Because you're torn between your loyalties to the Sathya Sai International Organization and confused about your loyalties to Sathya Sai Baba, which is a very weird confusion that you should have right now. If you are in that state of confusion, listen to Isabella. She will tell you, sorry, Sister Isabella, Judge Isabella, we have to be respectful. Judge Isabella on why she chose to join the Global World Council. Sister Isabella.
Thank you, Brother Sanka and Brother Vanakachi, and Brother Lakavuchi, and Brother Nimish Panyachi, and Dr. Rafi, and Brother Dennis, and all my dear brother and sister. My loving salam to all of you. Hope you are all well by Swami's grace and the protection. Even now, I cannot see your face, but I know you are here, and I'm really missing all of you. First, I'm very happy to let you know that I joined the Global Council. Before that, I done my homework. I read through all the correspondence that I have between the Global Council and the international organization. I watched all the Zoom meeting, Q&A session after my court hours, because I want to have the two-side intonation. I think it's very important for one devotee to know what had happened. And I have do my chronology of the event. I want to note the sequence of the event. I want to figure out what is the dispute issue of between the two organizations. Now, to say two organizations. And then I make the conclusion. I joined the Global Council. I really think one thing is a very good start for all the devotee, including the overseas devotee and the devotee in India and the Prasanthi family, all join hands together. It's a very good start. It's a very good moment to start. Nothing is perfect, but we have to work it out to make it perfect. Of course, I'm aware of the dispute issue of the alleged appointment of the Song Chair regarding the terms of reference, the alleged controversial issue of the certified Sai Center, the money shipped to the Global Council, this kind of allegation. But to me, this is all Swami Lila. This is all the test for everyone. If you let me know the Swami teaching, we should have the full faith, everything is under his control. Nothing happened without his will. He is the doer. So why you fear? Why you worry? Should we take this challenge as the test for everyone to work out together with love, respect, and trust? Don't try to attack others. When I read through the content of the correspondence, when I see the very strong word against the others, I feel so hurt in my heart. Honestly, my tears really come from my face. I'm sure Swami is really, really hurt, and he will feel very sad. And for this few years, when I back to the Pasanti, there were so many local party yacha. And I watched their program. I learned so much from them. It's very different from our overseas program. They have a lot of devotee, many devotee, and so much devotion. And if you think I'm very crazy for Swami, they are more crazy, I can tell you. Most of the time when I went to the Super Bottom at the 3 a.m. morning, and the whole group of the local devotees, they slept outside the mandi to queue up to go in the mandi for the Super Bottom. And then at the end, half of the group, they cannot go in the mandi. And they are screaming and they cry outside. So when I inside the mandi, I sit in front of the Swami, I cry. And then I just talk to Swami, how I afford to get a sitting in front of you. And the local devotees, some of them, they walking, the walking yacha. For 10 days to come to the Putta Party, they cannot allow to go to the mandi. So how I afford to sit in front of you? That is only your love and mercy. And I tell myself, only one thing, I have to do better and better. And to make Swami to feel I afford to have the seat in the mandi, I afford to sit in the front line in the Kuwan Hall. And for this, you have to experience, you have to interact with the local devotee, you have to see, you have to feel, and then you can feel more the love of the Swami between the overseas devotee and the local devotee. So I think the Global Council will serve a very good platform for all the overseas devotee and the local devotee to work together, to have the interaction, at least got the platform to doing that. And also by Swami's grace, I got different chance to visit the holy place, to perform the Arti Rhythm Mahayana as a chanter. So I together with the local chanter to do the yatna. For me, they are very new to me, and they teach me the chanting. And for them, I'm very new to them. A Chinese wear sari, chanting rhythm, and perform the yatna. And they, at one time, they are saying, Swami is so great to make one Chinese devotee to come to Kampamaila to do the holy dip in the Sankha River, and then to perform the yatna together. They feel, Swami is really amazing. They want me so many occasions. They want me to holding the mic, to share my experience, how I come to Swami, to show my face and, my sharing to the local devotee. But it was not happen. It was not happen. The reason for why? Every time I tell them, you have to go through the protocol. You have to write the correspondent email to my zone level to get the permission. So you have to do the communication because I don't want to breach the protocol and holding the mic in your site center. So it takes a long time. So every time I tell them, just leave it, forget it. Okay, don't waste the time to make this kind of communication. Just do your work. So until now, it's never happened. I never holding the mic to share my experience with the local devotee in India. So I think the Global Council serves as a very good platform for not only arranging the joint conference at Pasanti India, but they can arrange the joint program and also the joint saver. We have the saver every week in Hong Kong. And I'm sure they have the saver in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka. But when you perform the Grammar Saver in Putta Party, it was so different experience. But I can tell you, it was so different when I performed the Grammar Saver in the Holy Mountain in Barina at 3,500 meters. I cannot carry anything. I only carry a bottle of water to make sure, because I cannot breathing. So all the no good devotee, they carry all the stuff, to go up the mountain. And also they have to carry me as well to go up to the mountain. That is a really unforgettable moment. I interact with the local devotee there to do the Saver together. It was such a new chapter in my Saver life. So, I really hope the Global Council can serve as a platform to arrange, a joint program, a joint Saver project for all the overseas devotee and for all the devotee, the local devotee. And we can interact, we can exchange our experience. And that is very important for us as in our spiritual path. So can I just ask, the leader of the organization, can you just forget about the authority issue, forget about the appointment issue? Can we consider the lead, more focus on the lead of the devotee, how we go, together in this spiritual path? So for me, the formation of the Global Council, we should celebrate and not to reject it. This is my first point. Second point, I see in my personal level. Everyone will say, Isabel, you are the Pasanti girl. Definitely you will go for the Global Council. My answer to you, yes, that is correct. Everything in Pasanti Niniam is so dear to Swami. It is so dear to me. And everything connected to Pasanti Niniam, including the Global Council, I will try my best to connect to it. Swami say he will not leave Puttapati. I will not leave Puttapati. For this 2 years, because of the pandemic, we cannot go back to the Pasanti. The Swami and everything in Pasanti is really in my heart, with the special bond. Every time when I watch the live darshan, I saw, the beautiful flower garland on top of the Samadhi. Even the pandemic never changed. It's so grand. And the chanting boy is still doing the chanting, beautiful chanting. The bhajan brother, they sing a very beautiful bhajan. And all the Saver Ducks boy from different stage of the India, even the pandemic, they still come to serve to the Swami. Everyone work together, perform their duty properly to make the operation of the ashram and the Kuan Hall as is before. I really appreciate, they're so dear to me. And very frank to you, no matter what had happened in Pasanti Niniam, I will not say no to all the family there. Even one said, Global Council is not good enough, so be it. I will not reject it. I will do my best to work together with all the people there to make it good, day by day. I know some of the devotees did not go back to the Pasanti Niniam, so they are not concerned of the Global Council. But we have been in Pasanti for many times. And most of you, this very senior devotee, you have seen the physical darshan of the Swami before the Mahasamadhi. And some of you, you have the interview and talk to the God before. So you know the secret to go back to Pasanti Niniam. You feel, the divine vibration there. How much blessing you can get there. So I think this is our duty for all of us to bring all the devotees back to the Pasanti Niniam, at least one time in their lifetime, to make them to feel. Because Swami, to make Pasanti Niniam as his holy home, and he put his God body, the Samadhi, in Kuan Hall. So, of course, I know Swami is in our heart. So we no need to go anywhere. But before we reach the stage, always feel Swami in our heart, then we have to go back to Pasanti Niniam. Not only Samadhi doesn't. But we have to, through the Global Council, we have to interact with the local devotee. We have to join the John program. We have to, I hope we have the John Saver as well. So this is a new chapter for our site organization to go forward. We have to make the move. And for all the dispute issue about the authority, about the appointment, can we surrender to Swami? Can we have the trust? Swami taking care of everything. So this is the point I want to make. And this is the reason why I joined the Global Council. I make my conclusion for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sairam. Thank you.
So beautiful.
Thank you for a wonderful
you.
exposition.
Thank you. And also thank you so much, Sister Isabella, for bravely coming out and speaking with so much of emotion. And I think what the 400 odd people who watched the last 15 minutes can see is that raw emotion, and you appeal to everyone at the end of the day that it is not us and them. It is not this or that. At the end of the day, it's all about Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba and the connection with Swami. Thank you so much for your time, Judge. It has been a pleasure to have you on. I know you have a very important job in Hong Kong. Thank you for taking so much time. You've been here for the last 2 hours. Thank you. Right, panelists, I would like to go back and continue with a few more questions. I think we'd like to, we started at 5:30 just after Malaysian time, and we started about 5:35 or so. And I know also you are busy with things that are happening in Prashanthi Nilayam. But we've got a few more questions which I'd like to take. And if that's okay with you, can I just maybe go on for another half an hour or so, if that's possible? Will that be okay with? Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay.
Brother Naganan, you okay? And
Yeah,
Brother Nimesh,
fine.
you're also okay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Great.
fine.
Okay, now there is a series of questions which I'd like to put together. I've clubbed together. Brother Hariharan from Tamanyal, a very important question from a very senior Sai devotee of Brother Ramachandran, who is the founder, chairman of the Sai Foundation in Malaysia, a former secretary to the Sai Council, a former big leader in the organization. There is a question by Brother Abhiji from Johor Bahru. Also a question from Brother Danesh from Indonesia, who is here. Thank you very much, Brother Danesh, for being here. But all these questions are about the same, in the same genre, which is why is it that you feel, panelists feel, that such an international organization does not want to join the Global Council? That's the first one. Second part of that question is, why is it that we are all sounding so egoistic, and can we not? This is a question from Brother Ramachandran, the foundation. Why can't the trustees, for example, the remaining 5 or 6 trustees, come down and talk and figure out and work it through? The question by Brother Ravi is, why did they join and then pull out? Did they just go and look at the terms of reference and then decide, well, this doesn't work for us anymore? And Brother Danesh says, well, there is still talk that they might come and join the Global Council. So I want to put all these questions together, which is, if I'll just repeat again one more time, why do they not want to join? Shouldn't we go down and try and convince them in any case? Why do they join and pull out? And finally, they might still join, right? So this is all the 4 questions put together by these important people in the current leadership structure. And
Naganan,
Yeah.
excellent.
The first part of the question is why they don't want to join. I think that's a question which I'm afraid we are not able to understand or explain.
Okay.
Because there is really no reason why they should not join. They're not ceding any control. They're going to remain in the same manner in which they're functioning. And we will be more people sitting in the banquet table than sitting in separate tables. That's what is going to happen.
Right.
They still don't want to join the banquet. So I don't know really why they don't want to join.
Okay.
So far as the efforts to, why did they join and leave? Again, that's somewhat mysterious. Because, you see, they wanted nothing to change. The way in which the SSIO was functioning, it should not change. That was one of the questions which they raised. So after a face-to-face Zoom meeting that we had, after a great deal of delay, actually, they could have met us earlier, but they didn't. But finally, they decided to meet. They even wrote a mail to say, we don't want to meet you. And then, I don't know, Swami changed their mind and we met. It was quite a very free and frank discussion. At that meeting, what was decided was that all of us agreed that 3 gentlemen will come together and try to resolve the issue and reach a consensus. One was the international chair, Dr. Reddy. Second was Mr. Ratnakar, our managing trustee. Third was Brother Namish Pandya, All India President. These 3 members were given the authority to sit down and discuss and come to a conclusion. That committee met more than once, and for hours and hours they discussed. That's what, I was informed by the members of that committee. But they raised some issue. Then they came up with a document. We looked at the document. Practically 95% of the document which they came up, we accepted. There were only some peripheral changes in language and presentation which we made, and only 2 points were made clear in that. To say that these appointments, there has to be some change. You see, the appointments is going to be made by the Global Council on the recommendation of the Executive Committee. If you say no change is to be made, that means today, if Prashanti Council is to continue to function and it takes some decision, but Prashanti Council is part and parcel of Global Council. So there is really no change. It's the same thing which is being done. You're wearing a different color shirt. Today I'm wearing white. I may wear a red color shirt tomorrow and sit in the same meeting. That's all that will happen. But they don't want to, understand that or, see that point of view. So I really don't know how to solve the problem.
Right.
The last is, can we all make one more effort to try? Brother Ratnakar has pointed out in the beginning, we have made this effort. Our hands are, completely open. Our hearts are open. We are inviting you to come and join Swami, not join me or Ratnakar or anybody else. This is none of our organizations. It is Swami's organization. And it is Swami who has set it up. So you're only joining back. There is a famous song in Kannada, Kereya neeranu kerege challi varava padedavarante kaaniro hari samarpane maadi badukiro purandara vithala, like this. Hari, that means you take water from the river, pour it back to the river. You give arghya, not to God. So what does that mean? You're taking water from there, giving back to God. By that process, what is happening is you are going to get your punya, your merit. By giving God what is back to him. All that we are saying is you join back to Swami's river. We will all be in it, in the same thing. Now, I don't know. We have to, pray hard to Swami to change the hearts of people. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Brother Nagar. Brother Nagar or Brother Nimesh?
Nimesh bhai?
I think basically, yes, I just like to underscore the fact which Naganan mentioned, that the whole document that we saw was 98, 99% acceptable. It was only on the appointments and only of the appointments of the 2 important posts of the All India President and the International Chairman, which the perception was that the Central Trust would control. It was clarified that the Central Trust has nothing to do with it. It is the whole body of the Global Council that would recommend the next appointment, not...
Sorry, Brother Nimesh, for a bit of clarity, the next appointment of the President of the SSSO in India, which is your job right now, and the next President of the International...
And the zonal chairs.
Right.
So this was the only issue which the original documents of the Global Council suggested, that the Executive Committee on the recommendation of the Global Council would decide these appointments, which would be certified under the signature of the chairman.
Right.
This is the only point of difference. There's no other point of difference, because below the international chairman and below the All India President, the structure remains the same.
Right. We have just put the reference on for everyone to see.
The highlighted portions make it very clear.
Right. The highlighted portions are very clear there.
The executive committees will be the appointing bodies of all of the office bearers in all the organizational positions except Chairman SSGC, Chairman SSAO, and All India President SSSO.
Right.
So all others are okay. And what we say, selections, appointments, extension, reappointments, and removals of SSAO office, including Chairman of SSAO, members of Prashanti Council, Zonal Chair, down to the Sri Sathya Sai Center office shall continue as per bylaws and protocols.
Right.
And within the executive committee, that is, who is the executive committee? You are the only people who are in the executive committee.
You are the same people in the executive committee, correct? Yeah.
All the zonal chairs will be appointed under the signature of the chairman SSGC. All the country heads central coordinators, regional coordinators will be appointed under the signature of the chairman SSIO. So where is the problem? All the zonal chairs will be appointed under the signature. See, zonal chairs will be recommended by the executive committee. I think Mr. Naganand, how many times he would have repeated in various forums. This is why that is the forum where it's going to deliberate on the next person.
Right.
In fact, it gives a chance for even a zonal chair to be selected. He can also be selected out of that. And once that appointment of zonal chair will be deliberated, even SSIO chairman will be there. The only appointment order will be signed by the chairman SSGC. The reason is this body is going to deliberate tomorrow about the appointment of SSIO chairman. He cannot be appointing authority of appointing, at least on a technical grounds. He should not be appointing the persons who are going to decide the appointment of a chair.
Right.
You understand? It is very simple and straightforward. There is nothing there. And these appointments also are done by the international organization executive committee, where all of them are together. World Foundation, Prashanti Council, SSIO chairman, all the zonal chairs. I think what I see is...
Brother Ratnakar, just to make it very clear to everyone who's watching at the moment, the slide that we put up, on the left of the slide is what the Global Council is proposing. On the right of the slide is what the Satyasai International Organization is proposing. There is no real difference except that one empty space at the top in terms of who the final authority will be under the signature
it is
of...
not even, see, their reading as an authority. It is a technical thing. See, it is nothing. We don't get into any of these things. See, how will we know who has to be appointed in National Council in Malaysia?
Absolutely.
How will we decide sitting here who are going to be the National Council president of either Indonesia or Singapore or Sri Lanka?
Absolutely.
No, it is all your collective body will say that, and we are going to under all the zonal central coordinators, regional coordinators, national councils are going to be under the signature of the SSIO chairman. Very clear.
Right.
Where have we taken authority from you?
That's right.
And you're talking about zonal chairs appointment. I've explained to you why zonal chairs appointment technically being given by the SSGC chairman is because that is the body which is going to deliberate on the next appointment of the SSIO chair.
Right.
So he cannot be the appointing person for that.
Appointing authority, yes. Appointing himself.
It's a technical thing. In fact, many times we said, see, what do you mean by, what does it mean when Naganand says that chair of the SSGC doesn't have any veto power? Right. He is not going to exercise any veto there.
Right.
How many times we keep on telling this? Right. See, they don't want to understand. The reason is not that.
And Brother Ratnakar and also all the other panelists, it's important that we are saying this repeatedly here in this forum for the 400 people who then have to go out and dispel all the myths and dispel all the false narratives.
I would like to say one more thing. See, the problem is hitherto the zonal chairs, what they say, they let them just do some search in the conscience. They will know that all the zonal chairs, how they are treated. What is the power they enjoy? They are supposed to be second to Dr. Reddy.
Right.
You see the way even the organizational structure which they have portrayed in the SSIO, they put, then under that they put global, what is it? World Foundation and Prashanti Council.
Absolutely.
The entire thing is SSIO.
Yeah.
Under SSIO, no, I do not know. There's something, somebody is misguiding them, or I have no idea what is going on.
I think a lot of the confusion that a lot of Sai devotees around the world, around Malaysia are feeling is because we are not party to these kinds of questions.
I'll tell you very interesting or I was quite disturbed about, Brother Naganand and Nimish. See, an SSIO senior office bearer sent me a mail in which Brother Leonardo Gutter is writing to Dr. Reddy and maybe some Ganguly and Rohan. Only these 3 or 4 people. That is a core team. He's writing to them in that. He says the zonal chairs and the National Council presidents are not able to convey what we are telling them to convey effectively to the countries. And he says they are not capable of using the zonal chairs and the National Council chairs are not they're not capable of taking this narrative properly to the down to the country centers. He is written. See, you are saying you want their support.
Yeah.
But you are saying they are not capable. It's in writing.
Right.
In writing, he said they are not capable. The National Council presidents and the zonal chairs. So they are trying to use this. This is. I am very sure, brother. This is a play of Swami, like how Sister Hezbollah said. It's all Swami's Leela. I
Right.
think maybe it is Swami who is. Every day I pray to Swami, saying, Swami, let the good sense prevail and they can say yes to this. But somehow he is preventing them from saying yes, but because he wants some changes to be made. I think that's all I can think of it. Why, what is a simple thing? Why they don't, it's written on the wall, they don't want to see it. And they go on attacking us.
Right.
Mr. Nagaland is that, Mr. Himesh Pandey is this, Ratnakar is that. That is, see, and as rightly said, so some of them are very senior.
Right.
They may not pass 80s, and they
That's
may not
right.
wanting to again, in this, they may not be wanting to travel back to Prashanthi Nilayam. But why do you deny others?
Right.
The
That's a very fair point, I think, to be made. Those people who are,
I'm tempted to give one small quotation from the Bible.
please, Brother Nagaran, please go ahead.
No, at the crucifixion stage, when Christ was going up the Via Dolorosa, at that time, there were many people waiting there, and they were all shocked. And they were trying to say, why this is happening, why this is happening. You can prevent it, you can prevent it. They were trying to tell Jesus that.
Right.
He very coolly, calmly looked at them and said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. I think, we can't say anything more, because if any rational thinking person would not have resorted to any of these things, it's such a simple issue. And they have created this. So,
Brother, while I understand what both Brother Ratnakar, Brother Nagaran also very strongly, I personally can connect with what Brother Nimesh is saying in terms of the root of where everything is. I think a lot of people in the countries that are now struggling with trying to put juxtaposing views is that we are never given a clear picture. We're never given a clear picture. Thus far, everything that most ordinary devotees, members of Sai centers in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in this region, Indonesia, what we've seen is off our own back. We've gone into YouTube and we've watched various discussions that the Trust has had with various people, the Global World Council, so on and so forth. Everything else is fed to us. Through the Satsai International Organization. So that's part of the quandary that a lot of people have. And it's natural. So I do appreciate that, and I thank you for the quote. They do not know what they do. Now, there are a couple of things that have come up as we've been having this discussion. A former youth, young adult leader, national coordinator who's also sitting on the committee right now, former assistant treasurer of the Sai Baba Council. One person wrote in now and said, like, he a bit weird the way he asked me, but he said, "Hi, moderator, can we get them all together and then have a Zoom call with the president of the SSIO and also with the trustees, and can we sort this problem out once and for all?" I don't need an answer for that, but I think you have just told us that this has happened multiple times already, except it's not been in the public domain. So perhaps maybe
it's not a political debate, right? It's not a political debate.
That's right.
It's a spiritual organization.
That was the question.
Political debate and trying to score something.
Yeah, this is spirituality, Ratnakar. This is spirituality.
Yes.
One founding principle, as Sister Isabella also mentioned, that Swami is the boss. He is the doer. He is the one who commands, who is the one who dictates. None of us have a right to debate on what he has said.
Absolutely.
Our duty is to just surrender to God and do our best. The entire Satyasai organization was created by Bhagwan so that every participant can use his platform to improve himself or herself. It was never improving anybody else. Please understand this, that this organization is very unique.
Right.
We are all here to improve ourselves, not improve anybody else. And all that we are saying is surrender to Bhagwan. Prashanthi Nilayam is the base. That is the root. Let's be together and let's have faith that even if you and I have differences of opinion, he's the boss. He will ensure who has to be removed, who's not to be removed. I must give an example here, and Sister Isabella, I must share this with. I was haunted by somebody in Singapore recently for last 3-4 years. And 2 years ago, the gentleman spoke to me and audaciously said me, Nimish Pandya stepped down from the All India presidency. And I told him, I said, look, brother, the best thing you can do is to sit in your altar and pray to Bhagwan. And if Bhagwan decides that I should leave, I will leave tomorrow. I won't even take a second to leave. I will leave, but leave it to him. He's the doer. He's the master. He's the director. He's the one who decides, not you and I.
Nimesh bhai, Nimesh bhai, it's no point in talking about people who have, irresponsibly they talk, they will.
No, I'm just saying that we need to follow Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the doer. He's the boss. Let's accept this fact.
And that is a very important point that Brother Nimesh Pandya has brought forward. This is not a political party. We're not into debates. We have discussions and we do those discussions in private. Those discussions have taken place. The other question that came through from a former leader, I'm not sure if it's still a current leader, but a former leader of the Malaysian Sai Council is a little plead. He said, can you both meet once more before Guru Purnima, before the deadline ends? That was the pleading question that was asked.
I want to tell again and again. I think, we have done umpteen number of times. We won't come to this. See, as an organization, you think we will just like an individual decisions, we fight and walk away? No.
Right.
See, they have called us names and we have gone before them again. Nobody, right. I've repeated this in many Zoom calls. He said, nobody, this self-respecting people will not come into meetings after such a very, very abusive kind of narrative that they carried out.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we do it? That is only for Swami's sake. Am I right?
Yeah.
But what was compelling Mr. Naganand, Mr. Nimesh Pandya, myself to go again back to the table?
It's the right thing to do because it is the right thing to do.
The only thing we had paramount in our mind is, let us give it a try. It is Swami's. For Swami's sake, we will gulp down anything. Whatever. People keep saying all sort of things. I become a punch bag, as Nimesh Bhai says. Everybody says everything. As if they have seen me. 99.99999% people have never interacted with me, but they say, oh, this guy, oh, that guy, is this guy. Why are you doing this?
Right.
No, it is a false narrative. They keep doing this.
Right.
And how many times we have tried. In fact, I've lost count of reaching out to them.
Right. So which essentially means that, to answer that question by that particular brother, before Guru Purnima, after Guru Purnima, anytime you want to talk, we'll talk. That's what you're saying. Right?
What I'm saying is very clearly we have said, Global Council doors are always open. There's no discussion anymore on this. I don't think we should go on discussing on this. That is exactly what I said. This is a commitment. Satya Sai Central Trust or as a Global Council. See, you understand one thing. There are countries which they have already joined.
Right.
They're part of Global Council.
And individuals who have joined.
Centers have joined, countries we need to respect them.
Right.
Their sentiments, their reason why they joined Prashanti Nilayam. We can't ignore them.
Right.
I must tell you on the call today, nearly 80% of the membership of SSIO is with the Global Council. And what louder divine command they need to hear other than this?
Right. So,
Nimesh bhai, am I right?
Absolutely.
Nagaran sir,
yeah,
do they need to hear a louder divine command than this? 80% of your members are saying Global Council. What are you, sir?
Correct.
Please don't close your eyes and ears.
right.
It's the loudest divine command for you. Don't keep on saying this is Swami. The devotees are the reflection of Swami. Today, if 80% of your membership is with the Global Council, that is the biggest and loudest divine command you must follow.
Right.
Am I right?
Correct. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, brother. Brother Nagaran, would you like to add anything, Brother Nimesh?
No, I don't think I would like to add, but I would only like to address one more issue. I thought that would come in the questions because you see the narrative which we have seen is there are a number of incorrect suggestions have come around.
Yes, there are some, Brother Nagaran, there are some more questions. I just haven't reached them yet, but go ahead, please.
Okay, one of them which has been repeatedly mentioned ad nauseum is that Brother Ratnakar is the one who is trying to control everything. Now, I think we have addressed this, but I want to mention this as a matter of record. No, right through the discussions of this Global Council, all the trustees participated, and Ratnakar also was present in our Board of Trustees meeting, and we all agreed on a consensus. Then the question was who should be on the Global Council was also discussed. At the very outset, some of us suggested that managing trustee should be a member of both the Global Council and also the Executive Committee. Brother Ratnakar immediately said, see, I am in my role as managing trustee, my hands are full, I've got so many responsibilities. Please leave me out of the Global Council. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be present in those meetings. And if you want, that is, if you all of you feel that because of the position I'm holding, I should also be in the know of things, you can, if I'm made an invitee, I will attend those meetings. And an invitee, as we all know, is not a member of that body. He is asked, requested to come and permitted to be there, and will speak if permitted to speak. Now, where is the question of Mr. Ratnakar saying that he is controlling this body? He is not even a member. There are 3 other trustees who will be members. So in spite of this, they go on, all sorts of insinuations. I mean, I can understand how hurt he must be feeling. He's spending 48 hours a day doing work of Swami, not 24 hours.
Right.
And in a situation like this, in fact, I sent one small quotation to Brother Ratnakar the other day to say it is from Swami's words only. Where Swami says that the more the people abuse you, your faith in God should keep on increasing in that inverse proportion. That's what Swami says.
True.
And
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Ramesh.
People should also understand that the Satsai Central Trust is a body of very eminent people. It is not only Ratnakar. I mean, by insinuating such things, we are demeaning the stature of all the great people whom Swami has appointed on the Central Trust. Or Swami has handed over the Central Trust to such eminent people. Mr. Chakravarti, Mr. Justice Mishra, Mr. Kelkar. These are all very, very, Dr. Mohan. These are all very eminent people in India who have been a long-standing. I think just insinuating that everything is being done by Ratnakar, I think is a great disrespect to all people of eminence who are there. And I think nobody has a right to be of that opinion at all without knowledge.
Right. Thank you very much, brothers, panelists. I want to just go to another range of questions. If you don't mind, we can a few more minutes. Is that possible?
Yeah,
Are you?
Let us do it.
Right. Excellent. So we got a few more minutes. This is about the cutoff date for joining the Global Council. Then we have a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions that have come out about this cutoff date. So I want to just club that together. And why is the cutoff date Guru Purnima? One question. What is the rush to cement this relationship now? Malaysia, for example, a question that comes through from Bharat Sivaraj in Johor Bahru said, Malaysia is going through an unprecedented hike in COVID cases at the moment. We're having 13,000, 14,000 cases, 15,000 cases a day. And this, can this not be done now because there's a sense of urgency? And Dr. Vijay, a very prominent Sai devotee from Malaysia, Dr. Ravi's former zonal coordinator, if the registration is closing on the 23rd of July, no one else can register. Will you consider opening after? These are all technical questions that people are asking. One is about the date. Why is the date? We are all under a bit of a crunch, a health crunch and economic crunch in Malaysia, and this part of the world. And can we then do it after also? So this is the range of questions.
See, I don't think, sir, again, your COVID did not stop firing people. I told you yesterday, sir. Dr. Nanda was also fired.
Yes, absolutely.
Why don't you ask that side also? Why COVID is there? Let them not be fired. Why are you firing left and the national coordinator, Seva, national spiritual coordinator? Dr. Nanda is a very
center chairman,
center chairman, a very devoted, dedicated gentleman. Why are you doing this? And what kind of disrespectful messages you sent to Brother Jaga?
Yeah.
Jagadishan.
Yeah, he's here. He's also with us today. And
respected Jagadishan, sir, where are you?
He's here.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of messages were sent by Brother Billy Fong and whoever there? What did you see? And Brother Billy Fong, for all that, we have seen him as a leader, from Chinese leader who comes for new Chinese New Year, Buddha Purnima. we have always been extending many a time, everything they want, we go out of the way
Sure.
to do that. And in fact, he has invited me. There are prayers, no? In the morning around 5:30, there is in the open space, they have a beautiful prayer. We used to go there and sit there and talk. And, we participated, and Om Mani Padme Namaha.
Oh, Mani Padme Hum, yeah.
We always chant that. And Billy sir, what is the problem? Why having that kind of dislike for all of us? Oh, he's absolutely is dead against the trust. Why? What is the reason? What have we done to create that situation for you? Do you please see? You're unnecessarily getting carried away. Please don't use your mind. Mind will only disturb you and distract you. Please take decisions with your heart. Let Swami speak to you from your heart. Fill that faith with you, and will Swami if you really you have faith in Swami, will Swami ever allow something bad to happen to you or bad to happen to SSO if they are very sincere about it?
That's
And
right.
from whom? See, you lack of faith. You don't have conviction. You are trying to do everything on yourself, and then you say trust is bad and organization is bad and we guys are that and this. Have that conviction on Swami, and have that conviction that Swami is the one who guides the entire organization in his name. Without that conviction, you think Global Council is just, we all, some 3 of us or 4 of us sat here and just morning we decided to do. No. This is a well thought through. And I think the very fact why Global Council is required, the reaction of SSIO, what they have done in last 6 months is enough, I think, justification for a Global Council.
Right. So, Brother Rataka, just to reiterate back, we completely understand your feelings about how the people who worked so hard to put this together, and with people that you had great relationships with, the people that you spoke about right now, and they are now totally against what you're doing. For the common devotee of this on the street right now, in this part of the world, we just want to know, if my center doesn't go, if my council doesn't go on the 23rd of June, I will go myself and register. There's a question by Dr. Vijay who says, countries are given certificates, centers will be given an email, but individuals, and can I ask you from a personal point of view, I've joined the Global World Council myself as an individual because I don't belong to any Sai Baba center. I left the organization a long time ago, but I don't have an email. So all I did was took a screenshot that I'm a member now. These are questions that people will ask along the way, and it'll be good to answer those questions.
Definitely. See, nobody will be left out in coming days. Don't have to worry.
Thank you for not leaving me out.
Swami will bring everybody into his fold. If whoever has got, you need to resonate with him. You need to be connected to him. If you have that penchant and that urge and that prayer, you shall not be left behind. Definitely Swami will. And also I'm saying one more thing. All the Global Council centers, wherever they are, they have registered. By chance of 2 or 3 people are left out and they are SSIO people, please invite them for, even let them be in SSIO. Please invite them for all functions. Please invite them for bhajans. They can be very normal from let them be in SSIO. But even an individual who differs with you and can come into Global Council. See, there may be a center which has gone to Global Council.
Right.
There will be 2 people in that community who are not gone with them. I request, we are going to tell that to all our Global Council centers, nations, respect them, and if they require to come there and participate. They may not be allowed to speak like what we have said. Again, that is one more, they said we are blackmailing. And
that is a point of contention. There was a question about that, about veiled threats.
Why you are doing this is very simple. That is a stated position. I don't think anybody needs to have any discussion on that. It is very simple. Can anybody come into Sai Center and perform? Can anybody, can outside organization, can they come and do it?
Well, as SSIO runs the centers like that. We are not allowed to do that. Yeah.
Then you don't allow. Even if you have a retreat, you need to register. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely.
If you have any retreats, you have to register. Even the neighboring center person cannot go into a center and sing. You have so many rules. That's all. We are also, see, I have again and again explained, there are 500 odd districts in India who are connected to Prashant Nilayam. Now, so many centers, so many countries are part of Global Council. Our priority definitely will be those who are associated with us, and they will. We are not saying don't come to Prashant Nilayam. Never we will say that. Prashant Nilayam is a place of God, place of avatar. It is open for everybody. Let it be not only Satya Sai organization, whatever, whether it is SSAO, SSO, Central Trust, or any other organization, anybody can walk into Prashant Nilayam. It's a place of God, place of solace, place of peace. So anybody can walk in there and seek Swami's blessings. Please don't have any hesitation. If you go to, because you aligned with SSAO, you come here, your accommodation will be denied. No. It is not so, but don't say your SSIO group. That is what we will.
Right. I mean, that is quite clear from an administrative point
of
view.
You go to accommodation office, and there is an accommodation. Definitely, we have already. Those things are very clear. No discrimination.
Clear.
It's not a place of discrimination.
Sure.
Definitely, you will not be able to perform or sing bhajans, give talks. Of course, that it's a very clearly stated position. And those who have affiliated, associated with Global Council only will have those privileges.
Right. Brother Nagar, I will be not doing my job if I don't ask this question again. After the 23rd, can people still join?
7-8 months you have taken. Why do you need more time? To join Prashant Nilayam, you want so much time. It takes 2 minutes to. How much Nimesh Pandey, who heads this 95% of Indian Sai mission in the world? How much time he took it to? Why? I do not know. It is. I think Swami will be hurt if you say I want more time to join you. Imagine if sorry if I am saying that if he says, okay, I also need some time to answer your prayers, what will happen to you?
Right.
It's like Swami saying come to Puttaparthi, and I am saying no, wait, give me some more time. I will decide and then come to Puttaparthi.
You heard the Judge Isabella talking.
Right.
They all should know she has not had she has not seen Swami, and we are claiming we are seen 40 years we have dealt with him. Please learn how much Swami can be. There is Swami presence you can feel, right?
So maybe I'll ask a caveat. What about new devotees who come into the fold after the 23rd of July, after Guru Purnima? They will still be allowed to come into the Global Council.
They will go and join Global Council in their own areas.
Excellent.
Their own areas. Yeah, why?
Very straightforward.
They go to the center and say, we are joining. Wow. See, that is not we are going to control. MSS Naganan sir. They can go. It is up to them. They can go and join their centers, their country, whatever.
See, the new devotees, any devotee for that matter. You see, if I can be a devotee, like you just mentioned, you are not a member of any Sai center.
No, I'm not.
It's possible for you to be a devotee.
Enjoy.
And come to Prashanti Nilayam as a devotee, as an individual.
Absolutely.
And do whatever seva you have to do and sadhana you have to do.
Right.
Same way, supposing somebody feels the need to join a center, he or she will just go and join the center. That's all.
Right.
And they will, they'll join the group which is doing all this together.
Right.
I don't see any difficulty.
We also have another question which has come through from a chat group.
Just Shankar, any center wants to join after 23rd or anybody, they can talk to their National Council President, whoever is there, and they can write to us and see, it is through that organization will take care of it.
The National Council President, you're talking about the Global World Council.
Global World Council person
will
take care. We don't need to involve in that again.
Right. Because SSIO Malaysia, at the moment, are not interested in talking to anybody. So that's quite clear. I have another question which has come through our chat groups from a youth.
Indonesia, Bali has joined.
Right.
And entire Singapore has joined.
Right.
Sri Lanka, many centers have joined.
Right. South Africa, African countries.
All African countries are joining.
Somebody has asked for advice. Especially for young people, young youth. They're saying that obviously this person has that particular fear at the moment, 6-7 days to go to Guru Purnima, and my center is not joining. What happens if I want to join, but my leader in my center doesn't want to join and tries to control me. I know it's a funny question, but it's a real visceral question for a lot of people, you know. So I think maybe we should take it.
So they are controlling. So you agreed.
Yeah, we agree. We agree this is happening. You know, this has happened before, not over the last year. You know, this has been happening for years in Sai Baba centers. So how do we answer this young person? How do we do? Go to another center? Just go directly? Wait for something to happen?
No, you see, let us look at it after the formation of the Global Council. Now, for one moment, we'll take say 2 months after the formation of the Global Council.
Right.
We made it clear that the Global Council will have a secretariat, it will have administration staff, it will have people who are going to coordinate with different parts of the world, everything. Let's say you are a member of a center and you want to come and your center says, no, you cannot go as part of this center.
Right.
Nothing prevents that person from going as an individual. All that he or she will have to do is to, contact
The secretary,
arrange your accommodation and get your travel papers and come for sadhana, whatever. There's no difficulty.
Right. And this is a very important message to the young people, young adults who are watching this session today, that some of them feel very, very tight and very tightly controlled, and they don't know how to go beyond right now.
That is why you join Global Council. You'll be free and you will enjoy.
And Ratnakar, I want to repeat again to all my young friends, brothers and sisters, the youth of the entire world, including India, the future of the young people in Prasanthi Nilayam is secure. Prasanthi Nilayam is a place where you will blossom. Prasanthi Nilayam is a place where you will experience the divinity, because all of us are students, we are all learning. And I've always stated that by the time the centenary celebrations come, the world must be manned by young brothers and sisters at the helm of the entire organization. It has to be a youthful organization worldwide by the time we come to the centenary celebration. And therefore, have no fear, be truthful to your conscience, and remember, allegiance is only to Bhagwan. There is no need to align with A or B or C or D. Align with Prasanthi Nilayam, align with Bhagwan, and align with the collective wisdom of people. I think that's a bold decision that every young man and women should take all over the world and not get carried away by anything at all. Fantastic.
That is what young people in Malaysia and around our region, that is the confidence that they need right now. The confidence that that's the right thing to do, which is to align themselves.
Shankar, I want to repeat again, I've said this before. All young men and women should know that the entire sadhana is to remember Sai in our heart, in our eyes, in our ears, everywhere. Yeah. At the end, at the fag end of life, we want to see Bhagwan in front of us. We don't want to see a Nimish Pandya or a Shankar or a Sister Isabella. We don't want to see these faces. We want to see Bhagwan when we die. And therefore, aligning with Bhagwan and Prasanthi Nilayam being the home of Bhagwan is the correct decision. There is no confusion about it at all.
That's right. Thank you very much, Brother Nimish. Brothers and sisters, panelists, there are a few questions which I think are very Malaysia-centric, which I'm afraid not that I don't want to ask you. One of the questions is that we have Sai Baba centers here who are affiliated with the SSIOM, who own premises and buildings, and those buildings were signed off to the foundation of Malaysia. If we now if that particular center comes off and becomes part of the GWC, the Global World Council, what happens to the legality of it? I'm quite sure that even though Brother Naganan and Brother Nimesh, you're both lawyers, we have specific set of laws in this particular country. And I'm sure eventually, and I would just like to say this as a caveat to everyone, I think it's unfair to ask trustees to answer those questions. Those are questions that need to be dealt with by legal experts and lawyers in this particular country. But I want to fall back on what Brother Nimesh said repeatedly for the last 2 hours. Trust Sai Baba, he will do it. He'll sort it out for you. You know what I mean? He'll figure that out. So that is one. There is a range of questions that have come about the way forward. And a lot of them, Brother Yogaraj, Hariharan, Brother Dore, Sister Janaki from Singapore, Brother James Con from Malaysia. These are all prominent people here who've said, can two organizations coexist? What is going to happen when we have existential constant conflict between the two organizations? To ordinary devotees, what does it mean? So I don't know whether you would like to take these questions because...
Yeah. See, what is the conflict is going to be? Global Council will exist and it keeps doing its work. Who will fight with whom?
Right.
We have nothing. If
Right.
there are some centers who are SSA, let them be there. Why should we have any fight with them or conflict with them?
Right.
No, I don't think we should have any problem. And this narrative of unity, and saying that, but creating disunity is not correct.
Right.
Let it be. We from after pandemic, the Central Trust trustees, myself, all of us, and even Brother Nimesh Pandey, I'm requesting him. We will travel to country, and we will build this right from, all of you are there. All the Sai devotees are there. We will go from place to place, and we need to create that complete vibrant Sai movement again back. Not like this, not controls, not See why people are not getting they are getting only one side narrative. Because the SSSGC chairman says shun all the communication from Central Trust or trustees or their representatives. Officially, he says that. So how will see? That means what? You are putting the center people, devotees in dark.
Right.
What is this we are doing?
Right.
I don't know. It's a very. We also feel very sad, and the way they have gone about this, and after all the 30, 40, 50 years you are associations, is this what we have learned?
Right.
To keep devotees in dark and try to mislead them.
Thank you, Brother Ratnakar. And Brother Naganan, would you like to add anything on to that?
I think, we have to leave something, to God. Yatna prayatnamu manava dharmamu jayapajayamu daivadinamu. This is a quote which Swami has, used in many, many, many discourses. It simply means that as a human being, we have some duty, and that duty is to make the effort. Now, the trustees of the Central Trust, in formulating these principles and with the sacred objective of putting everybody together, of unity in the whole world, because today, Satya Sai Central Trust has been recognized as the body by the United Nations. It has been specially honored by the government of India in many programs, and we are one of the few organizations where Brother Ratnakar and Brother Nimesh Pandey are invited by the Prime Minister to participate in the national program chaired by the Prime Minister. The state government has honored us without any effort from outside. They've honored this the Central Trust for its outstanding work. Now, what I'm saying is this synergy which is built up, the objective of this is that everybody should be together in this. All of us should get the glory of this work. It is not only managing trustee of Central Trust should get it. It's everybody should get it. And because Sai devotees who are going to get it. That is exactly, the objective of this exercise. So we are doing our effort in a very honest, bona fide, straightforward way. We have no agendas whatsoever. None of the trustees have got any agenda. It is only Swami is the only agenda, no other agenda. In a situation like that, we have done our work. Now, beyond this, we have to leave it to Bhagwan, and we sincerely pray to Bhagwan to guide everybody to take the right path. To those who are doubting Thomases, let those doubts get cleared. Only Swami can clear those doubts. If you honestly, sincerely pray to Bhagwan, he will clear your doubts. That's just the only.
Thank you very much, Brother Nagaran. Brother Ramesh, would you like to add anything on?
I just want to say, I fully am aware of the fact that Bhagwan is the doer and he will take care. And every good thought will always be supported by Bhagwan. We are drawing a very large line of unity and love together throughout the world. And therefore, I think drawing that larger line is very, very important.
Thank you very much, Brother Ramesh. Panelists, I'm going to ask you to come back just for a 1 minute summary before we close. But before we do that, what the team, there's a question. Somebody said, why have we already formed a pro-term team of the Global World Council here in Malaysia? And that was an important question. Why have we done that? Obviously, somebody needed to organize all these things, set discussions, and to reach out to the public, to reach out to common devotees. And we had no other avenue because the Satya Sai International Organization Malaysia just blocked us and said, no way, you are going to talk to anybody else. So that's why we're doing this. Now, what we've done is the team, that pro-term team that is there, which is just a pro-term team, which means it can be removed at any time, right, has said that, today We have had a 2-hour and 20-minute dialogue, and you've all been absolutely open, as often, straight, clear, and passionate, including Judge Isabella. The team has put together everything that you've spoken for the last 2.5 hours. They've put down in some slides that we want to send to everybody and say, this is what has been said. So there's no misrepresentation of what's being said. There is no false narratives that we are accused of putting out or you are accused of putting out. So if you indulge me for a few minutes, I will just show you the slides before we call you back for the closure.
Comments.
Thank you very much. So what have we clarified today in summary? Why now? The first slide, please. Why now? Because Brother Nimesh very clearly said, now is the right time. When not now? Why is it not now? So Swami said, speak the truth. Efforts has been taken to get everyone to come together, share one table, to come together. This isn't any institutional interaction between Prashanthi and Swami himself has consolidated the foundation many, many times. It is to bring the Sai world under one massive, all-inclusive umbrella body, which is based in Prashanthi Nilayam, which is where we all know that's where Swami has always wanted it to be. The Global Foundation, the Global Council is the foundation and the strength of the entire world. Next, please. The charter is available, permanent charter under Section 5. Clearly says the charter been blessed by Swami. Central organization is there to guide, supervise various constituents around the world. It's not the central trust, but the Global Council, right, as a supervising body. Structure suggested by the Global Council consists of everyone. We've had this discussion, everyone, 97 people. Brother Naganan very clearly told all the names of the people who are going to join. 3 trustees who do not have veto power are going to sit in there. The worry about, the jurisdiction is going to be, these guys are going to take over and manage the whole thing from now on. That doesn't exist, and that's been clearly spelled out today. Every organization has, every country within the Sai organization will have its representative. Every country certainly has. So there will be no, and it is us that are going to be managing the structure again. Next, please. What happens if you don't join? Each country within the Sai organization will have a representative. So if the Sai International Organization, because it was never thought that it was going to be such an uphill battle and so much of reticence and reluctance would take place, just like how it happened in certain parts of the world, like Singapore, Sri Lanka, Africa, where everybody went, yes, let's move on. Here, there's been a lot of fight. So if in the eventuality that doesn't happen, there is a pro-term committee. Centers need not necessarily have to depend on this. Brother Ratnakar also made it very abundantly clear just a short while ago that eventually, when the pandemic is over, there will be a lot of traveling, rebuilding, and organizing, and programs, including the Sai education program, will be shared. Brother Nimesh has agreed to share it with us also and to help us. Next, the terms of reference. Number 4. Terms of reference is the next one, right? Why the word supervision has become an issue based on the 1981 permanent charter has been there given by Swami. The same words have been used. Supervision. Who is supervising? You are doing the supervising. Supervision is by the majority of devotees, not 1, not 2, not 3 people who, like a secret society, decide everything. This is very clearly stated by the panelists right now. Next, why does the Sai International not doesn't want to join the Global Council? Why do they join Pull-Out? All our panelists said, we really don't know. And it's best to ask them. About 98, 99 of agreement has been reached. Only 2 things, which is the supervising body and the consulting forum. And this is the only 2 things. Is the Sai, oh, this is a big question. This is it, the personal attacks on Brother Ratnakar himself. You want to control. He wants to be a megalomaniacal world leader. No. He has decided that he doesn't want to even be there. He's only there as an invitee. So can we all stop making him out to be this monster that he's not? I mean, that's what he just came out and said. And other people like Brother Nagan and Brother Nimesh Pandya very clear. I'm sorry, I'm making a joke out of it because it is quite funny. From what we hear, it's extremely funny. Yeah.
Shankar, should that be a reason for you to decide an organizational issue?
Exactly.
Shankar, I'm happy your team didn't put a caricature caricature of Ratnakar on this
Yeah,
slide.
man. You know, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. So he wants to, you know.
Nagaran sir, my owning some property in Puttaparthi is a cause of their not joining a global council. Can you believe this?
You might need to put that up for sale right away, brother. Right away. Okay.
I'm from this place. I need a house to stay in some place.
It's my house. Where do I live if not? You know, so.
No, for the information, I want to just come in for a minute for the
Sure.
information of people. This is very important for us to know. You know, in the earlier years, when the organization was being built by Swami, when Mandir was being built, the land was purchased. Many of the lands where the ashram is situated,
Right.
they were all purchased in the Ratnakar's father's name, Sri Janki Ramaya's name.
Right.
And they continued to be in that name. And throughout, you know, Swami said, this is all trust property only. And what if you know, if his family wanted to say, no, this is not trust property, it is my personal property, they would have done it long ago.
Right.
But it continues to remain, and they have made documents, everything, and it is trust property.
Right.
So that means they have not taken anything from Swami. Only thing they have taken in good measure is blessing.
Right.
Other than that, they have not taken anything from Swami. They have only given to Swami.
Nagaran sir, I want to tell this. Can I take a minute, because this is
please,
interesting. You must say that you must listen to this, because this legality, when after my father passing away, I found some documents in his shelf where canteens and some part of Kulwant Hall, some of the facilities in Prashant Nilayam are stands in his name.
Right.
40, 50 years back, they would have purchased and they stand in the name.
Right.
So I brought all the documents, and of course, my father owned some property near Gokulam and entire thing still. So when we came and brought that documents, and I said, Swami, these are all things and it belongs to Swami, and it's all central trust. He said, no, it is all yours. It's all there in your father's name. I said, then it is central trust, we will give it. You know what, Nagaran sir, I had a shiver through my spine. He said, what was told is, they said you can gift it to Central Trust.
Right.
And I innocently, I was much younger by, it was 15 years or 17 years back. I innocently said, we will gift it to Central Trust. He looked at me and said, can you gift things to me like that? He said, I shivered. In fact, nobody had, after that comment, neither I had the guts to go again to represent before him, nor anybody raised the topic. What we did is, entire my family, we went and signed a relinquishing document in favor of Central Trust.
Right.
Okay. All these properties.
Right.
We did it on our own.
Right.
My mother, my sisters, all of them, we signed the relinquishing document, and we placed it in Central Trust. Am I right, sir, Nagaran sir?
Yes, that's what I was mentioning. You see, so far from taking anything, what was,
it's all whatever we are, every drop of blood in our body is Swami's gift, and we are beholden to him for everything. Whatever we have is his gift, definitely. But don't take narratives to that low level.
That's right, and that's important. And I think this forum has been clear, and you've very openly told us how things transpire for yourself and how things have transpired over the last 17 years. Thank you very much, brother. Next, what happens after the 24th of July? Nobody's going to be left out. Individual centers don't join. They will be respected and invited for events. No discrimination on accommodation.
But in their own countries, what I'm saying is, in their own countries, they can go and request the president or their national, they can join. They don't need to again. But we are closing it on 24th, definitely.
Thank you very much for that clarity.
23rd,
Guru Purnima, yeah.
Definitely. Because we have to place it on 24th at Lotus Street. That is a commitment. That is a commitment made us to Bhagavan on his 95th birthday.
Right. Thank you for that clarification. We'll add that on, please, team. How to join after what happens? How to join? They can go to global, we'll have global council affiliated centers in the areas, join the groups. What happens to individuals who are keen to join but not allowed by their leader? Nothing prevents them from going and registering as an individual or going to a center that has already been approved and joined by join the Global World Council. Any center that wants to join after the 23rd, please speak to the Global Council. They are not a secret society. They will be open, and that's what they're saying they will do very clearly, and it will be love that will prevail throughout the organization. And in fact, Brother Ratnakar made very straightforward. Okay? Also, young people, you want openness, this is openness. We will be open with everything that we do. And finally, have no fear. A lot of this was presented to us by very passionately by Brother Nimesh. Have no fear. Align with Prashanti and trust Bhagwan. Don't get carried away by any powerful individual. As a leader, be transparent, bold, have clear directives, which doesn't have any personal agenda. That's what we discussed today. This is what we've been able to elicit, put out, and we're so thankful to the 400 odd people who've stayed here for the last 2.5 hours. Incredible 2.5 hours, and we a few drops in and out. We was worried that people will come in and run away, but actually 400 people stayed the entire time, and that is the strength of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Thank you very much, team. Can we have everybody up again? If you would like to join the Global Council, take your phones and do a screen thing and your QR code, and you can join. You can join today, because today is the 18th. We still have 3-4 days. Do it now. Do it now. Could join right away. Go and join right away.
Shankar,
Yes,
let them all go to their altars and pray to Swami. He will guide them.
And that is a beautiful way of collection.
That's the right way to do it.
Who will come, who will not come, it's just between Swami and them. See, we are also in the queue. We are also in the same queue.
Thank you, sir.
Let Swami and themselves, between them, let them decide. Let us not. It's not. We are not even.
No, you're not compelling anyone to join.
Very frankly, there is no force. There is absolutely no asking, no campaigning. Let go to the altar and pray to Swami. If Swami, whatever Swami guides you, do it. There's no issue.
Right. Thank you so much. And Brother Nagaran, shall we start with you saying a few closing words, 30 seconds of whatever you want to finish off with?
I think we have said quite a bit. So I would like to just conclude by saying, thank you all for coming, because, whenever we have doubts, we have to raise those doubts. And since you did not get answers for many of the questions that were troubling your minds, you have freely and frankly asked. And we have made our, best efforts to answer exactly what is the truth and what is really the position.
Right.
So it is now for all of you to introspect, think about it, and pray to Bhagwan, because Swami has often said that it is not possible for anyone to come to Prashanti Nilayam till I will it. At the same time, in my own professional life, this has happened so many times. I can narrate hundreds of times where it has happened. I thought it was impossible to go to Prashanti Nilayam that day, and it somehow made it possible. Now, today is another example. I had a matter set down. Today is a sitting day for the subordinate courts here. I had a very old case which I had promised the council that I'm going to argue it today. I thought it'll be over in the morning. But last night I got a message that this is in the afternoon, set down at 3 o'clock for me.
Oh.
So I said, oh my God, I promised everybody. I told Brother Ratnakar in the night also that I'm going to join. What am I going to do today? So I prayed to Swami. And lo and behold, and I told the junior, this morning I went to our temple, and I said, I'll be carrying my robes and my file. So if the matter is taken up at 12 o'clock, I'll finish it and then come back, is what I told him. I wanted to take a video hearing in my temple.
Right.
Then at 11:45, he telephones to me to say, sir, the judge says that she can't accommodate me in the morning. And afternoon also, it may not be possible. So she will give a date of your choice. Can you believe it? I mean, this happens today.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying,
somebody like Isabella, somebody must have been like Isabella.
Yeah, and it's a lady judge, and she says, afternoon not possible, morning I'm tied up with something. So please tell Mr. Senior Counsel that I will do it on some other day. They gave a date of my choice. So what I'm saying, Swami does everything for us. This happens every day for us.
Yes.
So it is our faith. We have to pray to Bhagwan.
Yes.
He will guide us. That's all in my closing remarks.
Thank you, Sai Ram, Brother Nagaran. Brother Nimesh, you have to unmute yourself.
Mute.
I just want to reiterate my call to all my young brothers and sisters all over Malaysia, Indonesia, that pray hard and be with Swami and be with Prashant and Nilayam. That's where succor and salvation is. That's where peace and happiness is. And that's where success as young adults to build your character and create faith and experience Bhagwan is very much going to be aided by your aligning with Prashant and Nilayam. I'm not saying aligned with A or B. I'm saying aligned with Prashant and Nilayam and Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba.
Thank you, Brother Nimesh. And finally, Brother Ratnakar, Managing Trustee.
Salam to everyone, and I want to say just one sentence about. Please ask each one of you one question: why are we coming to Satya Sai organization? Why are we here? We are here to improve ourselves, to transform ourselves, to fill our hearts with love, to increase our faith towards God. Don't be lost in very trivial things, into this organizational kind of things where you're more worried about who appoints whom, and a lot of bad and undesirable narratives are going about individuals, about, in fact, we don't feel comfortable even to do this kind of, talk and question answer session, because unfortunately we come into this situation. So we have to clear the air for everybody. So please ask yourself, why are you here? Are you for XYZ? Are you for Swami? If your answer is for Swami, that's all we need. We don't need to align this way, that way. If you are here for Swami, Swami will guide you and Swami will take care of you. Otherwise, if you go behind Ratnakar, Reddy, Nimesh, anybody, you can be, because we are also normal human beings, we can mislead you also in future. If we go astray, you will also come with us to some other place.
Right.
We have seen in the past, there are very senior leaders who did this. And what happened? They took all the people away from Swami. Okay. So don't depend. Our Swami said our true friend is Swami, true friend is God. So please align yourself to Swami and never forget the reason why you are in this organization. Don't align to the leaders, align to the Swami. Align to Swami who is everything for the entire base of this organization is Swami. So please align to Swami, align to his teachings. Individuals, today you are here for a national president or center president or central coordinator, zone chair is for 2 years or 4 years, is that all? So don't create a situation or take decisions which are far reaching beyond you. Because if you are for 2 years or 4 years, you are holding this position, that's all. After that. But don't you think you need Swami? Don't you think you need to connect to Prashant Nilayam? You're not eternally sitting as a zone chair or a central coordinator or even trustees for all of us. It's not some lifetime till we go breathe our last, we are sitting. There comes a time when we need to pause and think and do what is correct, what is right. In fact, all of us should have indulged in individual sadhana. Then only Swami will not answer our prayers because I'm a managing trustee, somebody is SSSGC chair. Or no, these are not spiritual positions. This is just functional statuses. But human dignity is equal to all.
Right.
Respect the people. Don't control people. Don't try to say, do this, do that. We will fire you. We will dismiss you. No. All are Swami's children. You are in one position of the organization. Please don't take decisions which are far-reaching and which we can say tantamount to coming in between of Swami, God and the devotee. Don't do this. These organizations were created to enhance the connection, not to cut the connection. If you are doing that, that is a sinful thing. So please introspect and know the reason why we are here, and we are here only for Swami. And all of us in Central Trust, even Brother Nimesh Pandya, all of us, we are working we are doing this work, and even the Global Council, why we have started, initiated, I think 2.5 hours we have spent on that. It is not some two, see, many times they say Mr. Naganand and Mr. Ratnakar are adamant. No, it's not so. Now Mr. Nimesh Pandey has joined. No, it is not so. Where are we adamant about it? Who is adamant? The adamant people are calling us adamant. We will never be. We have given every, in fact, our documents or whatever we communicated, we are respectable in, respectful in every communication. We have accommodated everybody. We have been most democratic. We have done all that. You are the people who started all these campaigns. So we need to come and clear the air. That's all we are here. Otherwise, it should have been in a close quarter between Reddy, Nimesh Pandey, and myself, authorized by the units. That's it. We should not have gone into this kind of devotees and disturbing them. Because there's one gentleman who did not agree for that, that is Dr. Narendra Reddy. I always ask this question, if Dr. Narendra Reddy said, yes, we will join Global Council, what would happen? There would have been peace. Nobody would have been disturbed all over the world. Now, if Nimesh Pandey could take that decision, he is also a very intelligent man, a very leading lawyer in the country. He could take that decision. You think it defies logic for him? What is that he understood that they did not understand? It is simple because he knew that Bhagavan is in, we need to connect to Prashant Nilayam. That is the only way. Prashant Nilayam is the headquarters of Sai Mission. It is not, it cannot be changing. Tomorrow, if Dr. Reddy moves from there to London, you think SSAO headquarters should move to London? No, it is not person specific. It should be, this is a place of Swami. The advent of Swami took place in this place. Swami chose this place. So please have that reverence to that holy place. The connection to Swami. Don't say Swami is everywhere. Then why did you first of all come here if Swami was everywhere? Why will still people come here? Why Isabella, our sister, comes every week? Swami is everywhere, but to feel that feel, why do we go to Makkah, Jerusalem? Why do you go to temple if God is everywhere? So you need to go to that level. It's just easy to talk. Spirituality, please, Swami said, I need practice. We have stopped practicing. We are only preaching. So we preach, the problem comes. Because we expect everybody to listen to us, and people see us very hollow, and they will see us through what we are saying. I say the variance of what they said and what they thought, what they talked, what they did. SSAO people are, the office bearers are not convinced. They are confused. Many SSAO officers reach out to me. Sir, how means so much narrative changes from time to time. From talk to talk, narrative changes. They say it's divine command, so we want to stand. And England, there was a question asked, why don't you join Global Council? Naively, one person asked. You know what is the answer? Ratnakar will control. We don't want to be controlled. If that is the reason, then why do you say divine command? Dr. Reddy and Ganguly were on the panel. Immediately, the chat box says, we don't want to be controlled by Ratnakar or Central Trust. So you don't want to join Global. See, the truth comes out, what is inside. And you are going and giving a wrong narrative to people and using Swami's name. We are not accusing you. We are, even now, it is not late. I am telling you, even now it is not late. Of course, 23rd, we are going to close it, definitely. But you don't need, you need just 2 minutes to decide.
That's right.
To join Prashant Nilayam. Even now it is not too late. I again reiterate, please take your call, go to your altar, even the top leadership, Prashanti Council, World Foundation, all the zone chairs, please don't, there is nothing. Even now I am reiterating that. After 23rd means, see, the 8 months this kind of very unfortunate narratives have gone around. And you're in touch with people who have nothing, they're non-devotees, Just because they are social media, they can write any nasty thing, and they are nasty people, they can write nasty things. They are not devotees. Why do you want to associate and, what is that you are trying to create a false narrative about individuals? If it is, again, I only say, if 80% of SSIO membership is for Global Council, what louder divine command you want to hear, dear sirs? Please, it's the loudest. I think, this is the voice of Swami. Please hear it. Please hear it without, closing your ears and eyes. Please see it. That's all we can say that. And we are not here to divide or divisive or, not targeted at any individual. No. It is only for combining all of us we did. So Global Council is here for good. What happens, how it goes, and what is going to happen after that, even a lot of people have issues. They have been writing to us about structures. We never anticipated this situation, but now definitely we will take these steps, whatever. See, we will not shy away from any responsibility. We are going after Global Council after 24th. We will have the structure. We will all involve all of you, and all of you will give inputs, and maybe by birthday, we will have a very nice, wonderful organization. We have everything, right? Entire platform is ready. It is not that we have to reinvent the wheel. It is already there. The Swami's institutions work in a particular way under the charter of Bhagavan. It is already there. And Nimesh Bhai is on the call, and he runs a huge organization. So all the protocols, everything is in place. So nothing to worry. We will only follow Swami.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, Sairam. Sairam, thank you very much, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, respected elders. We hope that this last 2 hours and 45 minutes, spending this time, dispelled a lot of the false narratives, dispelled a lot of the confusion. And some of you may still be confused even after hearing all of this. As what Brother Ratnakar, Brother Naganan, and Brother Nimesh said, go stand in front of your altar, open your hearts, speak to Swami, and Swami will guide you. Swami will tell you what to do.
Yes.
Right? In the meanwhile, I just want to extend my immense gratitude to Brother Ratnakar, Managing Trustee, Brother Naganan, also Trustee of the Sathya Sai Trust, and Brother Nimesh Pandya, Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organization President in India, the biggest organization in the world. We are very happy that you spared so much time to be with us. And also we need to thank a very, very special guest, Sister Judge Isabella Chu from Hong Kong, for being here. We had a lot of elder Sai devotees, long-standing Sai devotees here. I think everyone has heard the truth today. And after this, we just need to leave it to Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba to take it from there, take it from us, take it for us and to us. Thank you. Thank you, Sairam. Sairam, everyone.
Let us close with three Shanti. Shanti.
Teresa.
Shanti, Shanti,
Shanti.
Shanti.